What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players, to another installation of the Siege Double Shot, coming at you wild goose chase style, my friends. I am still the Reverend Whiskey Glitter, and with me, as always, my partner and co-host, Mr. Whiskey Run. Say hello, Whiskey.
Welcome everyone, and this one is special. Out of the ashes, basically, of another league has finally come the Wild Goose Chase. We are trying to finish out what was started by a set of W admins and a dedicated proud staff that wants to finish out this fantastic league. So we are going to continue along. This one is Outlast Black versus Ubuntu, and there's two more play-in games that remain here in the league to see who is going to join Aerial Arise, SSG ACAD, Valkyrie in trying to win all of this prize money. So, want to go take a look and see the standings real quick. Where are we at overall? And here we go, my friend. The top 8 are the ones that are going to be playing for those playoff stats.
Oh man, lay it on us. Exactly what we're looking at here. Goons, couple of known names. SSG Academy, Aerial Rise. Yeah, it's a bunch of big names to be finishing out the season.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. We're going to have the playoff bracket. We're going to show that in between map 1 and 2 because this is a best of 3. And the teams, like we said, playing tonight is that Outlast Black. This is the ex Gotham City Janitor squad, a squad that we have seen many times play and is really a fantastic set of guys. Appreciate everything that they have done for us and the league getting to this point. Taking on Ubuntu. Some names there from a couple different teams, one of the old ZMM, so glad to see them be a part of this and bringing out this best of 3.
Yeah, and look at this little bit of the map standings that we have on here, right? We're looking at Chalet Clubhouse, Clubhouse Chalet. It's a back and forth, and I believe that we're going to see one of those maps this evening, if I'm not mistaken. So going to be a little bit in the favor of Outlast Black as we get into the map bans. Bank going to be number 1 that we're seeing this evening. One of my favorite maps to watch in the competitive pool. It's got a little bit of everything, right? It's huge. It's got the lots of soft breach, lots of maps that you know, and then of course some of the variables that you just don't. Opens up room for a lot of fun operators. Chalet, the next to be on the board, which is of course Mr. Whiskey Run's favorite map and one that we see
Indeed.
quite often here.
Indeed. So now is the time. I think we're ready to start this game. We've got all 10 in the lobby, my guy. I think we're ready.
I think we are too. Let's get this going. So, Bank, Chalet, Oregon. It's the Wild Goose Chase, and the Whiskey Boys are bringing the heat to you, my friends. And so, Bank, let's talk about it as we get into this best of 3. It's not really a um, one of those one and dones, right? It's a little bit of a bit marathon here, right? To 3 maps, you got a couple of ways that you could really make this excellent or really f this up.
Indeed. So getting into the bands, like you said it, who is it going to be, my friend?
Well, I think one of the 2 that we can probably get off the board right out the gate, it's going to be that Ying, right? Vital for some of that basement play, getting in from the vertical, really sending in that distraction. Yep, there she is, first off the board. We could have almost seen that coming from a mile away, right? It's been the standard ban across the competitive scene, both T4 through T1. If I had to guess, I would probably say it's Dokkaebi next, but we've seen some one-offs here with the Mach-T, the Flores being brought out, or as the ban. But, yep, gonna stick with the standard Dokkaebi. And if we had to, Whiskey, what would you say the last 2 defenders are?
Oh, man, that is a great question. I would say it's the Solus has just been so powerful that it seems like it would be crazy for her not to be banned out.
Yep. Solid call. Intel for days, especially on a map like Bank, allows her to really set back and wait for those defenders to fall in line and funnel into the kill zone. You think Fenrir on the last?
I think Fenrir on the last, yeah. The other one could be a little bit of a wild card there, but Fenrir again just too powerful.
Yep, especially when you're trying to push in through dirt, trying to take some of that server control or the push up to garage when we're playing in that basement area. He's just a powerful operator. So, of course, we're going to see him banned out. No big surprises there. we are going to see that Locker CCTV as the primary site for the evening, starting us out. And a pretty standard lineup as far as, you know, I guess the basement goes here for Bank. One of the uppers, though, that we don't get to see very often, because like you said, it's a bit of a toss-up sometimes, is Zombie going to be on the board?
She's there, gonna make it happen, but the funny one is Ion's showing the black beard. Is that gonna be real? We're gonna see that for real?
Hey, you know what? I learned today from Naj while we were watching the Atlanta Major that he has one of the highest win percentages currently. So I think we might actually see him being played here. Nope. It played with our emotions. That's what we're seeing. Fink's going to be on the 6th pick. Ion's going to bring it out. Now, here's one of the good picks, a special highlight here. It's the Jackal, right? A lot of 2 different resources being dedicated to sussing out where the heck those roamers are going to be invested out across the scene. As you can see, Legion all the way up top looking to get active response right out the gate. But Jackal, great, because he can just turn his gadget off. Clear it out. Jaeger getting a little bit active here.
Hiding in the dirt, yeah, push. I love the aggressiveness, right? When we're talking about a playing game, who is going to make the playoffs in this this T4, T3 scene? I love very aggressive defenses. It makes it incredibly fun to watch.
I agree with you. And there's going to be the first off the board. It's going to be a double as Tweety finds the head and the body of 2 of those attackers, and that's going to be a third to fall as KGN finds one as well. Takes us into a 5v1 situation. We haven't even seen the first minute tick by. It's now all on the shoulders of Gridlock, who stands at the forefront in the trenches, takes a shot, and is going to lose her life in the trade.
You know that the thing about it was, in addition to seeing the aggressive defense, we also saw an incredibly aggressive attack, right? He made the drop into Vault almost instantly.
Yeah. Well, that's what we get, right? We've been preaching about this defensive meta. If you can get past that first layer of defense, basically for free and quickly, well, man, you can really capitalize on that from the back end because it's just not expected so fast.
Here we go, getting into round 2. So a defense win on the back of what was a very aggressive attack that didn't pan out the way they were expecting it. Showing even more aggression on that side. Blitz and Sense. We'll pause on that for a second because I love the intel pick of Valkyrie here. Bank, such a big map, 3 full floors, plenty of space for those cams to cover. She's a great choice for this 2F site. We see her played all the time and banned out regularly, but you know, I think it's a bit of a toss-up between that Fenrir, Azami, Valkyrie on which one is going to be that final ban. And in this case, they just didn't want to deal with the Fenrir. I can't blame them. So Valkyrie going to be on the board. Sloth pulling her out.
Yeah, on the board and on the move, heading down into Tellers or Archives to give themselves a bit of that underneath, that verticality with the C4 in hand. Let's move it a little bit slow. No, he's going to pick up the pace. He's not afraid to let he's here. And they're going to stick it as well, right? Finka, Lion, Sens, Blitz, like this genuinely has all the makings of a quick plan. Some sort of quick execute.
Let's go.
That first round, yeah.
They've got the deployable at the top there in the elbow, trying to hold on, but plenty of defensive assets and utility placed in. And I love the Claymores out because if you got an aggressive defense, the run-up potential, huge on this 2F site. If we're going to see somebody go upside down repel or just repel on the site windows, it's dangerous for them if they don't have the Claymores out to make sure they get that refrag.
Yeah. Yes, completely agree. And 2 special highlights as well, right? We're looking at a little bit of slow down. Oh, it's going to be the first to fall and a trade on the second. Blitz going to be pushing into Janitor, and now it's going to be shots on the line. It's the pro position as he finds himself in a bit of a pickle. Azami get caught slipping, break out the GPS. She's lost. Now takes us into a 2v2 with a couple of exciting operators on the board. Valkyrie in the intel still has a C4 in hand. Thorn with that 1.5. Going to be going against the Blitz and Sens. Blitz on 20 HP in a dream, but it's just the 2 of them now. KGN has got to find the hope here somewhere, and with the shield still on board, this is a little scary, Whiskey.
Well, and here's the plant going down. Gonna have to try and push, but oh, shots as he jumps out the window. That's a down, so it is all up to Blitz to try and hold this off. And KGN, some great shots there. 3 and 1 on the game so far, so he's got to be a little worried.
Protect the diffuser. Position
Now
compromised.
finds himself the defuse. Pros don't fake. Yep, he's gonna try to stick it. He's gonna lose his life. 20 HP in a dream. And Blitz lived that dream as he takes the pistol pop and body drop in action. On round number 2.
Sens was so close to getting out that window, but great shot there by the Thorn to be able to catch him as he was hopping out. But I love the quick plant, and we saw the Claymore kill.
Yeah. Yep, mark that on the bingo card, right?
They knew it was coming, and I loved it.
Ready for it and still caught him. It was a fun little bit of a trade. That's for sure. Okay. Well, that's
Defenders,
one apiece,
protect your
Whiskey.
bombs
Starting
from
out
being
kind of
used by
just the way we like it, my friend.
Back and forth.
Yeah. The operators that I like to see come out here on the side of the defense. Ooh, actually got 2 of them that I'm kind of excited to see, right? Captain we talked about as being one of those picks that's either going to be really early in the rounds or in the match, or it's going to come kind of on the back end of that of your defensive half. Because you know, if you catch somebody off guard with the cap can, then in this 20-second meta that we live in, boy, it's that 6th man is present and consistent and a clear and present danger.
5 seconds left.
That's right, and the 6th man. I love seeing the cap can come out. And I think overall, I know you were talking about the win delta percentage. I think cap can's pretty high on that list as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think Castle on the other side of it, but I still love seeing him brought out.
I wonder whether or not that's going to change. I mean, we are going to have to get into it a little bit more later, but the changes coming to the sites certainly going to change up how this defense is handled, because Scary taking that spawn peek shot with the 1-5 on Mozzie.
And got some fun operators on the attack side as well that we didn't even get to mention yet. I love the double intel of the defense. Isn't going to be enough to combat the Monty, who's getting ready to make that spiral push to try to gain control of that E3 area, that one of those critical push points that we always talk about. Going to bring out the Habana, though, instead of the Ace for that long range to open up that E3 wall.
I like
the gun.
Yeah, I like that pick better too, because I feel like you just have a higher success rate with Hibana trying to open those up, because if they're able to be shot off or impact tricked off, she's got a lot more opportunity to make sure that it happens. And you're right, brings a great gun, although the Ace's AK, tough to be stopped.
That's the truth. Oh, there's the first to fall. Speaking of the aforementioned Hatch Queen, she gone. That's going to be the advantage over into the defensive side of it, and that's kind of a big pick. Now, she did get some of those holes opened up, I believe, but that's going to be none of the castle's going to be able to be affected by her. Going to have to rely on the Hatch or a little bit of the traditional style, banging it with your fist.
Yeah. I think they did get the Kanto wall open at least a 6 set there. So, and we still got one more Flores drone. Matumba pulling that out right now. You can hear that one going off. It's going to get the last one out here pretty soon, would be my guess. But it's a 3v5 heading into the last minute of gameplay. You still have the Monty on the board. You still have one Ash charge left. So they still have some explosive attacking utility here to try to take on this 5-stack. Well, let's go with 1. All up to Sens. Can he do it? He's going to grab 1.
Gonna grab 2, you mean? Sheesh, a 3rd? Get going, Sens. You have got it all in your favor now, and it's in a 2v1, but it is 5 HP in a dream, 1 HP, a sliver, a bullet will end this quickly. He gets the diffuser in hand, still keeping a heads up, gets a drone out to start watching. Trying to get a little bit of that noise. Oh, and now, look, get some intel. No way, are you going to get the 4th right here? 15 seconds left, Whiskey.
15 seconds to go.
The shots, and it's just not going to be enough. Warden ready for it. It was only going to take 1 bullet. You got several in there.
So here we go into round 4. Double on the defense, 1 for the attacking team. That one looked pretty good, and it from the attacking perspective, they had a lot of pieces in place, had gotten some of the utilities, some of those sight lines open, kind of fell apart though in the final push in that last minute. Like we said, 3v5 looked good,
Attackers need to
quickly
locate
fell
and
apart
defuse
there to that
bombs.
1v5. They had a couple empty frags at the end, but that one was all defense. Now, how are they going to turn it around? Defense going back downstairs. Going to see whether or not they keep some of this this roam game clear. The Jackal just continues to make a lot of appearance. But before we get there, Mira coming out. I love the Mira for this basement hold.
Yeah, me too, right? And even with that recent rework to the shield where the Ash and Callie, well, really just the Ash. No, we don't see Callie ever, right?
10 seconds left before insertion.
No, I'm kidding. We love Callie here, but now that she has that change, it makes it, you know, the thing is you still have, even if it gets cracked, you still have a half wall
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb
and concealment to hang behind. So if it doesn't get blown out, if there's something that stops that Ash charge from coming in, then you've got a goated setup from the Mira, because she's obviously devastating. If not, you still have a half wall to sit behind.
Yeah. Well, and I've definitely been on the fence about seeing where the Mira windows go. Do you have them be further back? Do you have them be further up? Right? Which is the best positioning for getting that C4 coverage? Because that's an important part of Mira too, is that in addition to having just the straight window coverage, she's got to be in a position to have that C4 toss if they're going with the server side push. So I love seeing how the teams try and change up that interaction with where those windows go.
Yeah, I didn't see where they went on this last run. I like both of the setups, right? Putting them on that regular wall, it gives you a little bit of cover, still have to contend with the hatch, of course, but putting them on that back wall, I'd like to see the castle brought along to help support that a little bit. And look at this, it's an extension up into staff room. Really going to try to hold on to that verticality, and Azami, really the one to do it, right? Set up that trench.
Knock, knock.
Okay.
I don't like any of that stuff on that bench either. I clear it off all the time. Agreed. It is the further back setup though, so you see Mira's playing close on site, and this the attackers finding all of this this intel off the back of those drones. Great there to take out Azami. She's down. I think she may have gotten all the Kiba barriers out, but that's definitely a tough loss for her. Sen sitting at 6-2-1, having a great start here to this game on the Outlast Black side.
Yeah, and that's all that first floor control here, given over to the attack team. As we start to press that verticality. Just some dangerous hatch play right there underneath it. Still taking a look at Garage. Sheesh, Whiskey. They're so bold.
Still 50 seconds left, 5 attackers, so things have slowed down a little bit, right? I think we saw the initial pace of that first 2 rounds be very aggressive, and it's a best of 3, so they don't have to play with that level of aggression the whole time to start with on Bank. They can take a little bit easier. We're going to Club in Oregon after this, so we've got some time here to play it out.
I think we're going to Chalet in Oregon.
Attackers dropped the diffuser. Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Not that close. So 5v4, 20 seconds left. Gonna get that last little bit of a push here. Gonna have to make a drop. Gonna have to make something happen. It's about to get real dicey, and there it is. Smokes go out.
No, the flank.
Pop finds one. Looking to find a second, but is not successful. 3-3 now. 4 seconds left. Plan isn't going down. It's all resting on the shoulders of Ash. Pistol popping, but her body dropping, and that is it. Holy cow, that was an explosion of action. That was insane.
Speaking of explosion, that was the goo mine there to get the final kill as Ash was going crazy trying to control it, you know, from every direction at the same time was just not enough to be able to hold on there. Another defensive win. They go up 3-1. It's Bank. It's to be expected that we'd see some defensive round wins here for sure. Outlast only needs to find one to end on that standard 4-2 half. I think they would be happy
Protect your
with.
bombs from being defused by
I feel
attackers.
pretty comfortable with that. And even 5-1 on a clearly defensive sided map, you're still feeling okay about. Oh, look at this! About to be one of those crazy maestro cams. It's one of those. What do they call them? The TikTok cams. I
Love it.
There's a ton of information spread across the whole map, and he's got several of them that he's going to be able to put up. Maestro, recently reworked. Got his third cam. We've seen his pick rate jump up, especially when they're bringing out that double intel that we've been talking about. Just seen here as well.
10 seconds to insert.
Yeah, that third cam really made all the difference. I mean, it has absolutely skyrocketed his pick rates. I think not just for ranked siege, but competitive especially. Incredible pick rate from an information perspective, right? We're in the intel age of siege for sure, and so you're bringing out the Valkyrie, you're bringing out the Maestro, and a bulletproof cam from a Lucy. I mean, you got 7 extra cams plus the defaults. That's a huge amount of intel that this defense is bringing.
Yeah, you are lying, my friend. Speaking of bringing some intel on the other side, Lion going to be brought out as well. It's a double on the other. And if you count the Brava drone, and the Gemini replicator, we're talking about some intel-heavy attack side here as well. So in the game of intel and inches, boy, it almost looks like the attack team is going to be a little bit better on that front, right?
I don't know. The Maestro cams are shooting back, my friend. They got some great places here. Now Brava can steal them even better.
Oh yeah, that's the fun interaction. Let's see what Brava's so huge, especially towards. Oh, and look, she's just gonna open all of this soft breachable floor up. They've got some. They know exactly where it's going on with the jackal ping, so they're getting some verticality over the other site here, or over the other tellers.
There it is. Brava's gonna get one. Yep. Maestro says, "Not my cams." Goes and hunts down that drone, but I don't think it wasn't fast enough. I believe she did get that Maestro cam before it went down. But Tumba gonna get one, but quickly traded out there by KGN.
Yep, now finds the advantage sitting in favor of Outlast Black as we find ourselves in a 4v3. Still got a minute and 12 left on the board. This is feeling good if you're the defense, right? Down in the numbers, but you still have got time on your side. That's going to be a trade out as default, one from each side. Bravo going to take some damage, and now all on the shoulders of Tweety. He's got enough bullets to kill them all here, and 56 seconds in which to do so. There's going to have to be some individual heroics. Live pings coming out. There's all of that intel that we're talking about, and it's the plant starting to go down. You know exactly where it's at. That's going to be the wall bang to say good night.
Even with all those red pings, it was just an overwhelming force there from the attackers that were able to make that happen. You had some yellow pings coming out from the attacking team, but even with all those red pings, it just wasn't enough for Ubuntu to find a way to win that round. So that is the more difficult round for sure, right? You're talking about the first floor site on Bank. It has not really been part of the vertical first floor meta that you see on Chalet, that you see on
Defenders, protect your bombs
Skyscraper,
from being defused by
Clubhouse,
attackers.
right? It really hasn't made that transition, partly because it's not in a great position. The second floor and basement sites, they'll continue to really be the best ones to continue to defend. So I think it's not surprising to see the defense lose that one, but that's Outlast Black taking their second on attack. It's a great place to start. Great place to finish the half even.
I think so, and as the last round starts to come to a close, it's looking like we might see a bit of that standard split, although Outlast looking pretty good. We might a little bit of trouble with the Valk cam. Stick to some of the funniest things, and then again, not to others. Stick to the wall and not to Monty. Or Clash, right?
Oh, stick the cam to the Clash shield? Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Okay, here it is, folks. It's the last round of the first half of the first map. Before we see the op swap, it's going to be a bit of some standard here. Now, going back to that slowdown, going to bring out both the Azami and the Castle. What does that do? That sets the pace here against this attacking team. It really tries to funnel in and take away some of your available options towards sightlines, which either means you're going to have to go around or expend some utility on it. Either way, it's going to put you a bit on the back foot.
I like this pick of the IQ on the attacking side too. What we saw in that last round was a tremendous amount of defensive intel utility, right? She's the counter. Bring it out and try and find a way to just knock all those cams out early. And there it is. The Hibana making use of all those pellets, trying to open it up. Even with the impact tricking going on of Azami, still finds a way to get that Kanto wall open. They've got to have that to put pressure here so Monty can get up the spiral
A
stairs.
bomb has been located.
Yeah, but it hurt last time they tried it, right? That is going to be the Warden to find his death first. So we find ourselves with the advantage, the numbers over sitting on Outlast Black side.
Retro and Sens. Sens 11, 3, and 2. Just unstoppable right now.
Ooh, and that's going to be the Insomnia Falls, the 417 going to ring, and that's going to be a repel gone right next to it. It's going to be Scary getting active towards Trump. And now it's all resting on his shoulder. Here's the scary part for Scary is he's got to still deal with this Monty if they get the post plant down. And that is exactly what's going to happen, and that's a tough situation. This is a tough climb back. Not possible. Tough for sure. Down to a 5 HP and a Dream. Monty getting close, getting active. It's going to be, yeah, he knows it's a tough spot. Jiggle peeking for his life. Gonna find one. Where was he looking? He's got the intel from the Monty here. He's going to be looking towards E3. Have to have 7 seconds left on the board, folks, to get the diffuser down, so it's going to take some really quick action here. Like he might not have enough time.
Oh, man. That was a class in Jiggle Peeking. He was absolutely everywhere on that defensive site. He had me hoping that he was going to hit it. I mean, he really sold it. I thought that they had a chance, man, but no, we're going to go 3-3 on the half as we head into round 7. This has been back and forth because there was a couple great defensive rounds, and we rolled into a final 2 great attacking rounds. That's one of the reasons why I love Bank.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. 3-3 on the split. And yeah, it's a real barn burner right out the gate. Super excited for it. So now it's the op swap, folks. We're gonna see what does Outlast Black bring to their defensive half of it. Feeling probably pretty good with that 3, right? 1, you're okay. 2, you pick quota. 3? Well, 3 gives you a leg up when you get to your defensive half. So we're going to start out in the lockers area. Bring a couple of familiar faces, except for anyone on the board. It's going to be the Orcs being brought out.
We've talked a lot about whether or not, where does Oryx belong in the defensive lineup, right? If you love his gun, bring the Legion, right? We saw a goo kill on this site earlier on this map. Yeah, he's the fastest man in the game, can traverse those hatches and open up some of those lines of sights very quickly, but to me, it still feels like a really tough choice on the defense to bring an Oryx instead of a Legion.
Well, here's the deal. We're talking alternative meta, right? Or alternative entry meta. This is with the rise of Tubero and all of the unique ways we're seeing his gadget being used to thwart the attacking team. One of the things that we're going to have to see is the alternative entry, finding new ways to get in that are not going to involve that main breach or that main hatch that you normally go for. So, with those new ways to come in, what do? You play into the time game, you stall them out, and Oryx, perfect for that. Right? He can get a kill, get back to site. He can stay there and traverse vertically, horizontally, and really keep them guessing. Really waste some time, which is exactly what he's doing right now. They know they still have to figure out where the heck this Oryx is. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's true. And you've got the Valkyrie and the Oryx, and good call on that change in meta. So this question of how is he going to be handled, but that is, oh, wow. Nice shot with that Cali rifle from that garage, and Villain gonna push himself down those blue stairs, was holding that, trying to figure out whether or not the defenders were continuing to hold the hatch, which they were until Valkyrie got cleared out as well. So now Oryx is still, I think, upstairs on that. We had both. You had Capcan and Oryx were upstairs.
Eat my words, bring out a Cali and get a kill with the KGN.
How about a 2?
No! Make making it double. Just going crazy with the long range, the distance from the garage. You love to see it now, all on the shoulders of the aforementioned Oryx. So you're gonna see what he can bring to the table here. Yep, catching the other one. We've got it though. Reload the gun and get active, my friend. It's a post-plant scenario where the attackers become defenders and defenders become attackers. Finds one. Now they know where he's at. Gonna be put on the back foot here. He did get the long range off the board. That was a huge one.
Attackers need to protect the diffuser. Position compromised.
Goyo now, of course, that does limit some of his options.
Going up. Oh, knew he had to, and you know what? Maybe making me eat my words. That was exactly what Oryx needed to do on the board there to get up through the hatch and put pressure on the player playing upstairs. I mean, Bank, there's not a lot of places or not a lot of maps where you've got two hatches that are so close together that can be a really powerful play. But boy, they just showed us why they do it.
Yeah, on both fronts. So.
Okay, all right.
Words officially eaten. And you know what? I put a little salt and pepper on it. I'm not ashamed to eat it. Callie was a goated pick, caught a double, and I was really happy to see it brought.
Same on the Oryx front. I mean, he didn't clutch it up, so, you know, it wasn't exactly what they were looking for. But on the Callie side, at least, she enabled the attacking team there to get their win. And I know we didn't talk about it specifically in the setup, but this is a knockout game. The winner of this game is moving on to the playoffs here in the Wild Goose Chase. And the loser is going to have to watch and play in a different league because their time here would be over. So they definitely want to win. It's a best of 3. We're in the first map, so they've got some more opportunity. But both teams, I feel like, are really playing like they want to win this and want to be here. I love it.
Yeah. It's why we do it, right? Seeing the passion, and it is definitely thriving here today. On the attacking side of it, I call for the pick of the IQ. Now, is that a normal pick that they bring to the table? Who knows? But we know that Valkyrie and Kapkan have already been used. That's going to slow this attacking team down just a little bit, right? Got to check every single door now, every single window as you go in, or get a little bit of heads-up advance from the IQ.
Yeah, definitely a good pick. Pair the IQ. It's interesting that one of the pairings I think that have been really powerful that we had not seen or aren't seeing here is the IQ plus the Brava, right? Knowing where all of that is at and then having the ability to steal, fantastic. But Sens and Matumba there grabbing a double, putting this defensive team in a really great position now, up 5-3 just in that first minute, and it is all up to Tweedy, Villain, and Sloth trying to find a way to make something happen.
Oh man, trying to get the long angle from Janitor, and it does get Gordon sussed out on the deployable. So you said it, it's a 5v3. Still winnable for the attack team, but they have got to find something to trade it out. The problem is, they've got these castles and 2 C4s still to deal with, and no way to dislodge this warden just yet.
Oh, it's all down to 1, and Sens is going to grab a double here at the end. Boy, nobody told him that SMG-11 got a nerf.
Yeah. Nerf for what? Man, we haven't seen it drop off in its pick rate even a little bit. Still an absolute devastating weapon being brought out in SMG-11.
There's the Callie being brought back out again and predicting that this defensive team is going to go downstairs to that locker, which they do, bringing out a very similar lineup.
Attackers
I
need
like
to locate
it.
and
It's got
defuse
all of the
bombs.
elements. You've got the long-range garage hold from Callie. You've got the Hatch Queen available. Twitch to deal with the mirrors that you know are coming. Capcat bringing out his little devilish devices. Sussed out by the IQ as well. I mean, this is a goated attacking setup if they stick with it, for sure.
Back and forth on that score line. That was the most any team has managed to win so far in a row is 2. So no real big streaks, nothing, you know, no dominance happening so far. It's been back and forth. We talked about that the Legion Oryx combo, the weapon. Which one do you bring? Outlast said we're just gonna go ahead and bring them both.
Sounds like the call to me.
Attackers are moving moving out to locate a bomb.
If we love the gun, bring them both. Get a little bit of that bunker down and some investment into the roam game. I think it's a great call. A little bit of aerial denial and something to slow you down with the cap cam. This could be a very interesting defense.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Interesting to see how we're going to see Twitch get involved. I want to see Twitch get involved a little bit more from that utility perspective. And I love this. I don't know that I've seen that very often. Using the Hibana to open up that vault hatch on rappel. Just a great use of the utility there.
There's only 2 members sitting in sight of the defense, right? The right IGL gets the call here. This could be a little bit more of a direct-to-sight action, except for...
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Sniper!
Boy, we talked about wanting to see the Twitch get active, and she sure does, clearing out a ton of that defensive utility. The mirror windows, the those Goyo canisters. It's going to really put them in a great position. IQ goes downed, but is recoverable, I think. So we're going to see her pick back up here outside.
Yep, I think you're right. Okay, so IQ did get back up. Leaves us in a true 5v5. You can hear that Kali shield just absolutely exploding. Oh, we're gonna find one, but the trade gonna ring out. And then again, as Orcs gets taken down as well, now takes us into a 3v3 as Orcs gets the confirm on a kill. Sheesh. Taking a lot of first floor, but at what cost? IQ the next call takes us to a 3v2 as Outlast with the numbers evens up on a 2-2. Jeez, I can't even finish it out before it trades again.
Yeah, a ton of, I mean, almost all of that action happening on the first floor, right? All upstairs, and it's all down to this Twitch and the Iana. So KGN down, we're not going to have that long range of Kali or the intel from IQ, so we're going to have to rely on the drones and the infinite drone there of Iana, and Ion's pushing up. I don't know, have we seen the Capcan? I don't know, we haven't seen a Capcan kill yet, but I think we've seen one take some damage.
Oh, I'm sure, right? If Capcan gets played, somebody's gonna run into it. Doesn't matter what level you play at, that thing's gonna get hit at least once. You gotta have the lesson to remember, right? So we sit 2-2 here, and it's gonna have to be the attack team getting ready with a cross to get this execute. Defense set up back a little bit to try to thwart the set attempt, and look at this. We're gonna get smokes and flashes starting to drop in and try to get this plant down. Here we go, Whiskey. It's into the smoke, and there it goes. Plant starting to go down. Twitch taking it to 75, 50, or 75, now to 75. Pros don't fake it, so they're gonna go ahead and stick this thing. It's a post-plant scenario now, Whiskey.
She planted in the corner instead of the default, and they didn't know exactly where that was. Capcan goes upstairs, takes down the vertical coverage. Now he's upstairs with the attacker down, trying to find that spot, playing behind the mirror window. Now back in the vault to hide. All up to Ions here, try to find one quick. Taking out the flank drones, but he is in a tough spot. It's only got, well, let's go with 6 seconds left.
Yeah, looks like it's gonna be it's too little, it's too late situation. The Scary gonna clean that up with the 417. Wouldn't matter, didn't have just as much time. It was a valiant attempt by the defense to try to retake that scenario, but it just was not enough to get it done. That's going to take us into round 10, and the attackers up by 1 in the scoreline now.
Oh, 1 away from match points, and again, that back and forth. I mean, neither the team wants to find a way to wants to lose this one in that first map and go down early. So, here's the question. What do you think this defense team needs to do? Because I think overall, I feel like we've seen Ubuntu on both sides control the pace of the game more, right? Not necessarily, neither team have really been dominant, but I feel like we've seen them just control the overall pace more. So, do you have any thoughts on what Outlast Black would want to do to try to control it on their side?
Well, yeah, I think honestly they're doing mostly it right now, right? Double up on that intel. We see the Maestro and the Valkyrie coming out. Really want to take advantage of some of that information. So,
10
a
seconds
couple
to
people
insertion.
stay inside, but double up. Let's buddy system the heck out of this, right?
5 seconds
Isolate
to go.
those individual entry players who are going to be trying to make those big individual heroic
Attackers are
plays.
moving out to locate a
Find
bomb
that
and
quick
defuse it.
isolation. You know they're going to be up onto 2F fairly quickly, and buddy system that kill, and then rely on the trade game to mark it out, or to make the rest of the way out.
See whether or not it was too much of a roam game, right? We saw, like you called it out at the beginning, there was a ton of roam happening from the defense there, and that IGL could have called it out for them to try and do a quick execute. Didn't end up happening that way, but we've definitely got a little bit of that going on here too, right? You've got at least 3 up on 2F, holding down with the Azami and that trench warfare, plus the Maestro, I think, downstairs, but still a lot of players upstairs holding down the 2F.
Well, you know it's going to be the spot of attention, right? In the age of verticality, and it is real and present, my friend. So, got to do your best to hold it. It's going to be the Skyline hold here as they're trying to catch somebody slipping. It's going to be the first couple of shots, and Matumba going to find the body of Jackal, and that is a huge pick, especially if roam game is the win conditions. They got that started for sure.
Yeah, the roam clear, that is definitely unfortunate to see him go down early. Doesn't have a lot of this, the active util that Ram has or that Flores has got, but still having him available. But Matumba, what a shot!
No, absolutely disgusting as he gets deleted off the board. Matumba with a triple kill now, unstoppable, trying to find himself a quad piece. Takes a couple of shots towards Tweety's direction, so now it's going to be the showdown here between the two, and they know they got one upstairs still to deal with. Oh, no, they don't. Matumba moved all the way back downstairs, anticipating the Marble pushdown here from the fuse.
That's right.
Attackers have dropped the
Gonna
bomb.
lose. There's the quad you were talking about, taking down KGN. Okay, here's the question. The team gonna let him go for it? They do!
5 seconds.
Oh,
He
my
gets
Lord.
the
It wasn't a
ace.
question of letting him go for it. Matumba goes absolutely crazy, deleting every member individually off the board. That guy was all over the freaking map. Had a sixth sense of where it was going to be. Game sense at 99 on that one.
Oh,
Sheesh.
wow. I don't think I would have guessed that we were gonna see an ace happen, but I mean, he pulls it off in dramatic fashion.
And that makes this a game now, okay?
Attackers need to
5-5, we're
locate
now
and
tied
defuse
up
bomb.
as the next point, the next round, gonna go on to a match point scenario, and it's gonna be like you talked about, right? We saw a couple of the two back-to-back wins earlier. It's gonna be the back-to-back that gets it here. I mean, almost definitely.
I was gonna say, from the when the last time we saw Ubuntu play that first floor site, they didn't win it there, so I was a little skeptical starting off that we were gonna see that be a defensive win. I was thinking we were gonna head to match point here, but on the back of an incredible individual effort, able to even it back up and go 5-5 round 11.
Okay, this is exactly what you want out of such a tough situation that we're watching unfold earlier. This is the exact kind of game you want to see out of the ashes, rising like rising like a phoenix here. It's new birth, Wild Goose style. Intel, bringing it back out, Mr. Whiskey, on the attack side. Gonna need it. Both the Lion and now the Grim being brought out. We've seen him banned out quite a bit recently in the comp scene for how valuable that util is without having to put yourself into danger. Oh, look at this. Cheesy. Taking a rest as he's looking for somebody on the rotate.
Yeah, who is gonna make that? And look at that great call, bringing out the mute plus the deployable. We've seen that setup all the time on Skyscraper, trying to hold and keep that all-important deployable up in the hallway there. And Sens, I can't believe we haven't said his. I feel like we've said his name a lot, but maybe not enough. 13, 6, and 3.
Yeah, absolute banger game, that's for sure. Grim, the aforementioned Intel, not going to be of any use with his bees, so he gets taken out It's going to give the numbers advantage over the Outlast Black. And still, you talked about holding the angles and how people can get so impatient, and he is really just holding on to that. He knows somebody's going to take a peek at stock, and when they do, he's got the perfect opportunity to equalize this number count.
That's right. That's going to be the one. Look at this intel there. The drop happens. The yellow ping's coming out. The defense knows exactly where he's at.
Reloading.
Stuck a little bit outside on the terrace, so you got to make a kind of a regroup plan here. Still got a minute and 12 left on the board. That's plenty of time for this attack team to suss out where the heck these defenders are at. Well, unless they just come to you, Scary gonna find themselves one. It's back to SMG-11 again, Whiskey.
What? The SMG-11. No, right now it's just feeling like the attackers weren't as coordinated as they needed to be here going into the last round before match point. It felt a little bit disjointed at this point.
Yeah, we still got a shot here. 40 seconds now. With that takes away some of that possibility. That takes away the rest. As Outlast is going to find that round and put them on the dreaded match point scenario.
There was that shield coming in clutch, right? Stuck in a position where they hadn't cleared it out, didn't find a way to get rid of that defensive utility. He was able to play behind the shield the whole round, and that made that push in from stock really difficult.
There we go. The timeout that made it onto the board. I think this is a good call here. Now, hopefully it's not kind of going against them there, right? Generally, you see it by the team that is down in the numbers, but you occasionally see it by the team that is up because they want to really formulate how this potential last round can go. But it's utilized like you see it in any other sport, right, Whiskey?
I don't know. Here's the question, right? We talk about the timeout buff, and we've been talking about that for months. It was great to hear the T1 casters talking about it at SI and what the stats are. The stats from the Siege double shot, it's about 75% of the time. The team that takes the timeout gets the next round win. So it's not always about who's down, but it's about who's taking the timeout, who's taking the initiative to talk about it rather than being reactive when the timeout happens. So in this case, Outlast Black, yeah, they're not down, but they're the one taking the timeout. It feels good from that perspective. If that 75% stat holds true, you can see Outlast Black taking this first map.
Yeah, no kidding. And this would be an interesting side to really test that theory, right? Because if they use the timeout buff in their favor, then, I mean, do we start to see a little bit more of a timeout on a match point scenario? A chance to talk about it, a chance to make that final plan? Could be an interesting playthrough, because, yeah, you're right. Generally, we see it on the side of the person who is down in the scoreline.
Right, you take that timeout preemptively to try and not go down any further. In this case, we're seeing the team that was up, we're making sure we want to win this. Give us that extra timeout buff. Now it's 75% so it's not 100%. We're not for sure they're going to win it, but feels pretty good right now. Retro bringing out the Mira. You're going to see this the split push set up here and opening up. They're going to put the Mira looking into garage.
Wouldn't be a bad play. You know, it was definitely where we saw some of that extreme Cali action. Not going to be the case this time because they're not going to bring her along. But, you know, as they did twice, and then she was effective from there both times. Yeah, I think we put something there to slow her down just a little bit. Okay, now we talked about having that roam game by a job and how important it is. You see some dedicated resource to it, but really only just the Warden, I think, right? No, Warden even made himself back downstairs.
Yeah, that's right. That the full bunker back?
It might just be, my friend. Now, if you put a little bit of that pressure up top right out the gate, you can give what we like to call in the biz a little bit of that ghost pressure, right? You let them know that you're up there and that you need to do business, and then silently bunker back down. So they got to spend a lot of time trying to suss out where the heck you were. That's clearing every single room out. So because the flank is so prevalent on the map, on bank.
Watching out for that garage push, trying to find somebody going to push in. They were taking a lot of damage from this Outlast Black team when they were pushing in on the other team. So Outlast is saying, all right, never mind. This time we're going to put that shield all the way out in garage, try and hold on to it. That's one of the operators that we have seen banned occasionally, the Thatcher. Not going to happen here. Hibana going to open up both of these hatches. Were they able to get it off of the top of one? No, they're going to go with both grenades at the same time. Make sure guaranteed open.
Yep. And there we go. Ooh, get rid of the mute jammer and
get rid of everything.
Util, holy cow! Really effective use of the hatch play there. Now Hibana going to go. Finish up opening that vertical presence because it's important, right? Talk about the age of verticality. Well, this is no different here. He who holds the hatches holds some of the power, the immediate power.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, taking out. Gonna get that mirror window open and look. Player in garage still continue. Matumba holding on to that angle, making sure that there is no possible rotate through. Still in a position to put some pressure on the team as they drop, but he's going to continue to hold that that garage angle.
Yeah, 28 seconds. Still sitting 5-5 here on this match point scenario. There's the immediate trade that comes out as two people get to lead it off the board, but Lions now found himself all
from
the way
the hatch.
15 seconds left.
The verticality, plant starting to go down, and this looks, oh, the double that rang out. Okay, getting active, 11-5, but he's going to get shut down as we take ourselves to his first OT of the evening.
That's right, grabbed a double, had his pistol out, that was unfortunate. Goes for the C4, which I love seeing that as the play, the C4 coming out. And so now, not able to clutch it up, and we're going to overtime. 6-6 on the first map of this best of 3.
Sheesh.
Let's go.
Hey, how do we know that we're firing on all cylinders? It's OT, the first map, baby. Absolutely, I'm here for it. So, let's take it back up to 2F. We're going to run it back, right? It's the castle, it's the Azami, it's the slowdown, it's the funnel, it's the intel, and the denial. I mean, this is a defensive setup.
I like Hoa playing here on that E3 position with Azami. That is just such a powerful position for Azami specifically to play. Sometimes you see the castle in that position, but it's just a really powerful position. Love seeing her there. She can cover up any of the ace charge or Hibana holes that they're able to get open in that Kanto wall, but just really love seeing teams that utilize that position.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. It's one of those critical push points that we talk about so often. One of the plays that we love to see is the Monty coming up, but not going to be the case here this time. As the attack team going to opt for some of that extension util, right? Monty and Castle Ford bring along somebody who can deal with that. I'm reloading. Flores, one of the #1 stunners for that.
Yeah, the Flores and the flames and smoke of Capitao coming out. Love seeing it, and we didn't touch on it exactly, but that was a timeout, not in Outlast Black's favor. So sending us to OT here. They're the team that was down taking advantage of that timeout and winning.
Yep, that was tough. You're right. Okay, so, maybe not the best to do it at that point.
You know what? Might as well give it a try, right? It's such an important piece of the game. You got a whole minute to talk about it. Can get your coach in, try and figure out what is going wrong, what you need to do. A lot of Siege is being played, and we're getting close to the end of Bank here, right? All of this effort, all of this time put in to win this map, it's all going to come down to a win or loss at the end. So, want to take every opportunity you got to win.
Sheesh. Okay, here we go. Already got the first minute and a half out. Done data. Gonna go for a little bit of that C4 onto the rappel.
And he gets it.
Oh,
Let's go.
And then disappears into the night.
And that was close because you had an attacker pushing up the stairs, and Valk had that C4 out. Ions was waiting and ready. If that had gone a little bit in favor of the attackers, could have got the kill as that C4 was going. But right now, It is all defense. Outlast Black, the janitors are mopping up, trying to find a way. 5-1 here on this first overtime round.
I see what you did there, Whiskey. Very funny. All right, gonna need some individual heroics out of Sloth and able to find one. Trying to find a second Jiggle Peak, but it's gonna be the run up to close it up. It's gonna be the first round of OT off the board in favor of the defense, and now we're gonna see a bit of the op swap. Let's see if we can see it on the side of Ubuntu.
Back on that match point, OT this time, 7-6 as we head into this. So if Outlast Black can find a win here, we'll be heading ourselves to the next map. Ubuntu can find it. We're going to go the full distance, all 15 rounds required. And where are they going to do that defense at? The lockers. CCTV, going to head to the basement in Bank. Bringing out a pretty standard lineup, what seems at this point. The Mirror coming out,
Attackers
the
need to
Legion,
locate and defuse
as
as
well
many
as
bombs
that
as they
the
can.
Azami coming out.
Yeah, go for a bit of the comfort pick here, right? A bit of a nod towards nostalgia. So we're going to see the smoke being played out. Now, here's the question. Where's he playing? Smoke playing off the Mirror, or is he playing that strat where he's sitting up on top of the stairs? No deployable to be brought out to help him hold said stairs, so it might not be the case.
Yeah, I think without the deployable, you're not going to see smoke up in that position. He's got the barbed wire, so I think that they're going to be dropping those on the stairs for sure, on those blue stairs, but probably not going to be playing in that position. You do have the Jaegers, you know, for the projectile deny. They're going to go with the Mira strat that's back on site, so they're leaving the red hull open. Makes it a little bit more tough for the C4 denial for the plant, but they've got the smoke, so maybe they're thinking that's all they need. Puts Mira in a more comfortable position to take the gunfights, though.
Yes, the gunfights towards server and the site, but leaves a little vulnerability towards that garage area, so we're going to have to see some dedicated resource to making sure that they're able to hold garage as well, because it's just a quick peek past the truck and a good night on the Mirror holding the windows. The attacking team did bring along their standard ops. Be a bit of maybe some of that garage tank. No, optimal right at first. You're gonna have to get up into that 2F area and clear out the rum game.
I know we're in, you know, this round 14. We've made it this far. We're in overtime. That's a lot of players in double digits. Ions, Sens, Matumba, and another two on the other side with Villain and KGN also up there. So kind of crazy that so many players there. But look at that. Azami going for the rotate, tries to get down the hatch. The C4 comes up, though, from Tweety.
Oh.
There it is. Not going to use it for plant denial. Going to use it to make sure that, at least with now, Matumba cannot increase that kill count.
Yeah, no, not gonna use it for planting out. Gonna use it for retribution. That's what it said. Right after the homie died, the refrag comes C4 through the hatch. It's a beautiful play. Able to get a zombie back up. Now takes us into a 5-4 additional back up. Fight that fight.
No, it looks like hanging out downstairs still. So this, you know, we've seen the casters talk
Bomb
about
located
during
by
SI
attackers.
which sites are the ones that are typically rapid, which ones take a lot of time to set up. This basement site in Bank, one of those sites that is typically takes a lot of time for the attackers to get themselves set up. But look at this angle holding in vault. Gonna take a shot and win.
Oh. Wow, Ash does go down, and that's going to be the kill onto KGN, as now we find ourselves into a 3-3, into a 3-2, as Sloth going to find the double there. Now kind of all resting on the shoulders of Jackal and Grim.
Oh,
now it's
a
zombie in a
TK?
low scenario. Oh, no.
No way.
That's tough. That's rough.
Oh.
And of course that gives away the location as well. Now, if he can find the quick kill onto Scary, and then he only has a quick 1v1 with the zombie, could play out here, but he's only got 18 seconds in which to do
15
so
seconds remaining.
in this initial gunfight.
Yeah, he's got to know a defender is in. I was gonna say he's got to know a defender's in the vault holding case. It's where the carrier went down, but no, unfortunately, gonna lose it, and we are gonna hit round 15. It all comes down to this double overtime match point in map 1 of a best of 3, my guy.
Yeah. Now the next map being Chalet. I believe that was that Outlast's best map.
Uh, great question. Was Bank Outlast best map? You're talking about
No,
the
no,
Decider.
no. I'm talking about what was the best map
Attackers
and
need to
worst map.
locate and
One was
defuse
Chalet, one was
bombs.
Clubhouse. And it swapped on both sides of it. I think Chalet was Outlast's best map, their most winningest map. So if they're able to come up with a dub here, they're gonna feel pretty good going into map number 2.
Indeed, bringing and I love this. I love this pick from Hoa, bringing out the cap can. If you're gonna need, if you need that defensive win, bring out the sixth man.
That's right. Give yourself a little bit of that numbers advantage, right? Now, this is an exciting defense. We've got the Legion out. We did see the Goo kill earlier. He's proved his effectiveness, and you're seeing these Goos go out on the sides of doors. You might ask yourself, why are you seeing them on the sides of the doors, not directly in the path? Well, they've got a radius just like every other gadget. So you throw them onto the side of the door, you're going to trigger that Legion Goo. It's that late round Legion that can potentially save their life. Trench Warfare up here into the kitchen side of it. Really going to try to lock in with the Azami and the Maestro.
Look at
The
the
attack side.
yeah, the intel coming out there. Got the drones in place and got the Brava coming out to try and steal some of these. And I think, is this the first time we've seen Nook on the board?
Quite possibly. Used to be a staple for the bank, right? Send the Nook up through garage. A little bit of that quiet sneak up. Lost his quiet steps. See that pick rate drop off just a bit. Not going to be the case here, though. First minute already gone.
Well, you see the attackers bring out a slightly different strategy than they had, right? When you talk about listening in on the comms on like an SI kind of game, it's one of the things you hear is a tremendous amount of adaptability from the team after they lose a round. What do they need to do? What did the team do that enabled them to get a win? Okay, bring out a different op. That is definitely something you see the teams do as an adaptation. Say, we lost on this, let's try something different here. Change it up. I like the pick. KGN's been having a great night. 10, 13, and 3. Let's go.
Yeah, I'd take that. I'd take that, my friends. And that's going to be the first bit of damage done to Fuse. He's able to preserve his life. Not quite able to get in and use his utility to full effectiveness here as they are. Defense just wasting a ton of time here. Not careful, might find the kill on KGN.
Oh, and they traded.
Oh, double trades ring out across the board. In fact, as now we find ourselves into a 3-3 whiskey.
Oh, a 3-3. There is a minute left. This is it. There is no more options here. No more rounds. Whoever wins this is taking that first map win in the best of 3. Still got 51 seconds left. 3 players on the board on each side. Seeing this attacking team a little bit spread out, trying to find their way in. You still got defensive utility. You still got the Aruni gates up, trying to find a way to win on this first floor site.
Yeah, we're really going to play into that 20-second meta here, Whiskey, as they're going to have to really push together as a team and try to isolate somebody. Still got the vertical pressure being held up above. It's going to be a slurry of action here right out the gate, or I guess at the end of the gate here. 7-7. It's all on the line here, Whiskey.
They're very spread out. They're pushing from all 3 locations. Can they make the drop all at the same time? They push in. The plant is going down. Planter dies 2-1.
Oh my lord, 2 seconds left. Got to find the kill. Does get one to go down, but it's not going to be enough. Defense going to take that one as Maestro sits in cookies on top of that hatch. Sheesh. Game.
Outlast Black. The Janitors coming through, winning that first map, my friend, and what a game it was. We'll hold that scoreboard there for a second, but what we are going to do, going to get ourselves set up for that next map, because that was a banger, but it's a best of 3. 8-7, Outlast takes that one on bank, and going to get ourselves set up for the next map.
That's right, folks. So when we come back, oh man, it's going to be an absolute banger, and it is Outlast best map that they have played. So, at least according to OPL. So we're going to see a potential exchange. It's all on the line now. So sit back, relax, because when we come back, it's going to be the exciting action of map number 2. Ayo.
Let's go.
what's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. If you're just joining us, well, hey, appreciate you being here. We've got a real awesome match going on right now. It's a best of 3. And the first one's already done. It saw double overtime. I'm still the Reverend Whiskey Glitter, and with me, as always, my partner, co-host, Mr. Whiskey Run. What you think, Whiskey?
Welcome back, everyone, to the Wild Goose Chase. Out of the ashes of a previous league, trying to finish off the playoffs here. Couple games before we get to see that exact playoff bracket played out, but a couple words about it. Want to say again, big thanks to the admins of that previous league that have made it here, turned us into the Wild Goose Chase, and as a special contribution from the Siege Double Shot, we're donating all of the sub revenue, all of the ad revenue, all of the Twitch revenue from these streams to support the admins that were a part of that. So anything and all you donate during these games for the Wild Goose Chase, donated back to that admin staff to try and help them out. So what we're going to do now, take a look at that playoff bracket. Want to see what it looks like, my friend.
Yeah, walk us through it, because you got a little bit of insight here. It's looking pretty fun.
Yeah, that's right. So the Wild Goose Chase, we had all of the, with most of the teams all set and ready for this before things kind of fell apart. So we've got 2 games left in the play-ins. We've got this Outlast Black Ubuntu game, the winner taking on the Wanted Goons. And then we've got the Burgerville Trapstars versus Come Up, and they are going to be taking on Aerial Arise. So the rest, Valkyrie, Final Family, SSG ACAD, and the Wanted Goons Academy, all of these teams playing for what used to be a $1,500 prize pool, still working that out. So wanted to make sure that this league was ready and happening. And speaking of happening, my friend, I think it's time. We're ready to go to map 2.
All the players in the lobby ready to go. And folks, I had a bit of a misspoke earlier. It's not Chalet. I got your hopes up, but you know what? It's an equally good map. It is Clubhouse. Now, the stats on that one are a little bit different, right? So it's actually Outlast's worst map, and happens to be, I believe, Ubuntu's best map, Clubhouse. So it gets a little bit of the reversed there, and I'm excited for it. Clubhouse is kind of that great equalizer. You think we're going to see the same bands, though?
Ooh, great question. I think no. I don't think we're going to see the same on Clubhouse. I think Clubhouse is a map that lends itself to some of these differences in bands. I love seeing some of the interesting ones that come out, like Hibana, right? The Hatch Queen coming off. I think that's a pretty good possibility here.
Yeah, we've seen her several times before, and there's going to be the first one, Capital. He is vital for pushing that catwalk area, and of course, making all of that smoke and fire when they go for the hatch drop into the basement area. So huge pick and a bit of a one-off right out the gate. You were right when we weren't going to see the standards. Is it the monkey band next?
I was going to say, Ying, still an awfully impressive operator on the attacking side. Still a huge problem to deal with on any site, any map. Her ability to block off all those lines of sight for the defenders. So Capital, the main pick, but we're going to see Ubuntu ban out some of the standards, taking the Ying and the Solus off the board. The last opportunity for something interesting from the defense. Kaid, maybe? Or are we going to see Valk or Fenrir?
Nope. Back to the Fenrir. Yep, it's the Fenrir. And you know why. We talked about it on the first map. His ability to just not only make it incredibly difficult for you to get inside of whatever area he's designated as one of his gadgets, or with one of his gadgets, it also gives that sound cue. It gives that indicator that that area is being pushed. And if it's not getting any action, he can switch it up. 3 active, 5 total. None of them going to be seen here on Clubhouse, though.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
That's right, not going to be seen, so we're going to see the Bandit come out. Not surprising to see Bandit plus the Wamai of that projectile deny, and if you couple the Bandit with the Mira, with the Frost, I think it's a really powerful gym bedroom setup.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's kind of a... see kind of the standards, right? If the zombies on the board, we'll see her utilize either her or Mira to add that extra layer, and that's really what it's all about here on the gym bedroom defense. You know there's going to be a bit of a split push. You know they're going to bring 2 hard breach for the most part to open up that
10 seconds left
CCTV
before
area, and then of course to make that construction and
Bomb
that hot
located by
tub
attackers. 5
sidelines
seconds left.
opened up and ready for execute. So a bit of a 2-pronged attack here by the
Attackers are moving
by the attacking
the bomb.
team. And so Azami and Mira, great ways to deal with that.
Yeah, and you're trading out, I think, the projectile deny here for the castle, right? A bit of a toss-up because that Frost Mira Bandit combo, you know, and so between the Azami or the Wamai, who do you want to play instead for castle? Because we see castle so much on this site. Not gonna come out here. Gonna rely on one of those other operators instead.
Bomb diffuser. Attackers recovered the bomb
Okay,
diffuser.
so attack team going to start opening up some of these sidelines. It's a bit of trench warfare here from Matumba inside of construction, really helping support that Mira from a distance. Going to make it real difficult to push in towards that construction area. It's some highway action. It's highway window action.
Attackers dropped the diffuser. Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Did get that CCTV opened up.
The attacker has been dropped.
Taking a long look here. Really going to be dedicating some resources to finding where the heck that Rome game is going to be at, because you know it's going to be prevalent. L85 to claim the life of Hoa as he takes his dome piece off, gets himself a little bit of the headshot area into bathroom, and that's 2 removed from the defense. Still holding on to the long angle. Is Tweety going to start to make a move up? It's the shotgun from Bandit. Not going to opt for that MP7. And almost found himself in a rough spot. He's going to make it onto the rotate, though. That. Ace. Jeez, now into a 4v2. Got a minute 13 still left on the board. Plenty of time for this attacker team to kind of slow it down should they need to, but they don't need to. Scary going to get himself a double kill and start pushing in, and it's going to be the shots onto the bathroom. Prone, pwned, and owned as he drops down to take that shot. Call of Duty, the way he'd be dropping on him. Sheesh. What a freaking round.
Unbelievable to see it. 2v4 there with that minute 20 left in the round.
Okay. Scared him real good. That was amazing. And that's going to be one in favor of the attackers. Now, we talked about Clubhouse Whiskey as being kind of one of those 50-50 maps, right? You can kind of go either way as far as defenders or attackers. Now, we see it mostly defender-sided, but a well-put-together attack team stands a pretty good chance on Clubhouse. And 2, going to be back down to the basement Arsenal room to check out Church Arsenal room to check it out and see what we get down there. It's going to be some of that intel, the mobile intel of Mozzie, and still going to be building up those layers, right? You're going to see those Goyo canisters put onto that dirt area to stop that quick push in. You see sometimes the MAV and some sort of shield pushing down through that dirt area. Not going to be the case. Is Goyo going to slow that down? And then the back layer of the Mute and Mira combo. Going to keep those
10 seconds to go.
devastating mirrors up. Oh, yeah, imagine if he gets the headshot.
5 seconds left.
Ready.
This is a kind of a hurry up and wait scenario here. We do see
Attackers must locate and
it's
defuse the
already
bomb.
off the board, and this is really, folks, the time where the attacking team's going to be sussing out where his defenders are, right? Take that first minute, get the locations, try to get some of those isolations on some of those roamers, and that's going to be the said roamer taking one off the board. It's going to be the Legion finding the bonnet, and that is a huge bit. Now, they still have can openers that they can go, but that means that they got to be in person, live on the hatch to get the hatches open, which, if you're doing that inside a kitchen, can be a bit of a problem for the C4s, especially because there's still 3 on the board to deal with.
Yeah.
3 4s and 2 impacts, I think.
Incredibly dangerous to do that.
And got the 2 impacts to take out those can openers as well. So this is really starting to line up for the defense here as the last minute and 44 are going to start to ring out. There's Matumba off the board. L85 going to claim his life. Couple of pre-fires, not going to work, though, as Bit of a troll pick there with the C4 to ring out and claim Sloth's life after they were already down. That puts us into a 4v2.
Tossing stun.
All resting on the shoulders of Scary and KGN. It's going to be Scary starting to make their way down this main stair, but they've got the intel, they've got the inside, they know he's there, so it's going to be a bit of the kind of try to sneak in from the back end, and we've still got a minute left. We're still going to be seeing them get on their dribbles. Takes us into the last minute of the game, folks, and here's where we start to see it get a bit dicey. Do they take a bit of that faux timeout, or do they get a little bit of press? All you got to do is find 1 or 2 picks to start equalizing that body number and get yourself set up for the execute. This is a bit of a tough situation, but not impossible. Hey, Whiskey?
Yeah, this is definitely something that they can do. They've got the diffuser upstairs. It's still 2, although whether or not you say it's impossible, certainly you're never going to say no, but difficult, very.
Yeah. There's the shots. Ooh, Vector to ring out and claim KGN's head, and then the shotgun to follow it up. That's going to be a defensive win down in the Church Arsenal area.
Definitely not surprising to see a defense win downstairs in Clubhouse, though.
That's true. Heck, it takes us to 1 apiece.
So the back and forth on this second map already. We saw that on the previous one. We went 3-3 half, 3-3 half, double overtime all the way, right? Both of these teams going back and forth. So a slight advantage here from the Outlast Black side. They've got that first map in place. So now in this best of 3, all they got to do, win the next one to close it out and make their spot in the playoffs.
And defuse as many bombs as they can.
Yeah. So we're going to see the Tersh site being played out here. It's funny to call Cast CCTV the Tersh, but here it is. Round 3, the third map that we've seen. Zombie, of course, for that catwalk hold. Nothing absolutely spectacular on the defensive side, right? All fairly standard. Holding up in cash.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Azami, you've got the Legion, you've got the Wamai. I mean, those are the main ones to make sure that it's going to be difficult to push a shield up those stairs. Because that's the normal plan, right? Try and get that main wall open, get yourself up in warehouse, get that cross set up, so that hopefully you can get in and plant default. But the Azami in place, the Bandit in place, hopefully try and hold on to that highway window and keep his ability to trick. And they didn't bring a Thatcher, so they're going to have to rely on the trick or the Maverick to try and open it up, which I love seeing Maverick. We sometimes see him banned on Clubhouse because of that silent entry in the dirt, or this scenario right here, trying to open up that spot, open up those sight lines, clear out the Bandit charges.
That's all they have. No can openers, no Thatcher, no nothing else. So they're going to open up, get that main wall taken care of, and use the Zofia charge to open that bad boy up. Great effective use of the Maverick. And like you said, Marky on the board. Haven't got that wall open to start really putting pressure on the Azami just yet, but they know that she's there. And the problem is they've got the Wamai to back her up, right? Those discs can make it tough to flush her out. Capital bolts. Well, we're going to have to all rely on the Monty here.
Attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
You can hear that Maverick going off. The thing is, yeah, not having the Capital, that's one of the risky pieces here, because he's an important part of trying to clear out that the rafters operator, because now you've got a zombie playing up there in that position. Monty's stuck outside. He's gonna pick up that diffuser and try and make the push in, but Lions is there playing.
Speaking of their playing, down in the oil. Could potentially catch this Monty slipping.
Well, I mean, slipping potentially, but in a great position there to get both of those Kiba barriers in place, because a great shot on that piece of the rafter is going to prevent him from just walking up, even if they do have all of the Legion crews cleared out.
Okay, so Matumba the first to fall, and now we're starting to see a slurry of action here. Zofia takes a bit of damage. Gordon also to receive some of those bullets in return, but nobody to get their kills. He's kind of just trying to push up and gain some of that momentum inch by inch by inch. Ooh, there's a shot. Zofia gonna find one. This Maverick looking through. Oh my lord, Morgan getting taken down right afterwards. Hoa with the C4 to clean it up, but it's gonna be
Attackers bomb.
holy cow.
Dropped.
Wow.
Not the way I thought that round was playing out there for a second.
No, I thought for sure that this defense had the lineup in place and the attackers had not brought the people that they needed to be able to clear it out in the way that they wanted or the way you typically see it fall. But the addition of the Maverick being able to open up lines on that construction wall, put some pressure on the cash players, and then seeing the Dokkaebi just rotate right in and claim a couple, that worked out really well and surprised me a little bit how well that ended for the attackers.
Yep, it was the collapse onto site. They performed it
Attackers need to
excellently.
locate and defuse
So,
bombs.
where do we see? We'll go back to Jen. We're gonna try it again. And they're kind of bringing the same setup, right? Because it's a setup that is known to work. Bring the mirror, bring the bandit. Not gonna have the mute to stop that intel that's coming in, but I wouldn't argue that it's absolutely necessary. Be able to keep track of the drones during the beginning of the case. You know, a team with good drone economy is always going to be favored just a tad because in this game of intel and inches, you got to have the intel to gain the inches.
That's right, and we're certainly in the intel meta of Siege. So much of the game focused on the intel with all of these camera ops and operators dedicated to stealing utility now, which has been a fun addition to the game, right? To try and counter some of that tremendous defensive intel utility. In addition to the Twitch, also the Brava being able to steal that. Love seeing it, and seeing teams utilize Thatcher from that perspective to try and clear out some of the utility, even if momentarily it's got a wide radius for knocking out any and all of those cams in place. I like seeing teams use him for that purpose and not just for clearing out breach denial.
Yeah. You know what else I would love to see? I'd love to see the tuber out there, right? We've seen so many fun interactions with his gadget. In fact, just learned a fun one today because it turns out if you're yinging and you walk onto that ice, that stops the gadget of your glasses. So your ying cast reflect back onto you and you blind yourself. I think the interactions here between Tuberau and some of these other operators, especially the ones on the opposite side, are just going to be ultimately super dynamic. Tweety gonna find that first kill again from the long range.
Well, he's running that 2.5. He's running the ACOG. It's one of the things that we haven't really had a chance to talk about, just mentioned briefly, was the loss of the 1.5, right? Are we going to see teams immediately that are competitive start trying to play without it, right? We've seen this on every big meta change, every big off change there, that the competitive teams, even before the change comes out, right, when we're still even in the test server phase or the announcement phase, they'll make the adjustments to the way that they play the game in order to get ready and be the first to adapt. So it's kind of what I'm expecting to see here, is that we'll see more of these 1.5s drop as the competitive players get themselves ready for it.
I think you're right. Speaking of dropping, starting to fall apart for the defense here. Disaster striking now, leaving Retro alone by himself, and he's going to be the end of a flawless round for the attack team as they really just collapsed upon the site.
If they did, they had all of that. They had all of the sight lines open from Jacuzzi. They had the main breach open. They had the second layer of that onion peeled back and had sight lines into bathrooms so that the defending team couldn't do it. Got trapped back in Logi, and that is never a good place to be as the lone defender.
No kidding. You never want to find yourself in a 1vx, especially a 1v5.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough climb back anyway, but from the defensive perspective, they won the basement, and they're going to go back downstairs to this church arsenal. And I like having the Goyo in place. You know, for these basement sites, he's been a really important part of the lineup. And Sens went crazy on their previous map, and only sitting at 2 and 3 right now as we head into round 5. So this one does not appear to be a map that the Outlast Black team is a fan of, right? At least we're seeing Ubuntu play significantly better. Scary at 6 and 1. KGN at 4-2. But they seem to be more comfortable on this, and the fact that they're starting on attack, right? They're already at 3 on attack. This is feeling very good for that team statistically.
Yeah, well, that's what we call Clubhouse the great equalizer, because to the well-informed attack team, Clubhouse is an attack map. You know, it has all of the avenues. It's quick. It's small. You're able to gain a lot of real estate very quickly. There's very default ways that you can really play this with still the ability to switch it up, right? By bringing like the multi or the blitz into play here.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah, the great equalizer we have dubbed the map Clubhouse, and I'm here for it. Let's see the overtime. Let's see the next map. We want all three, as we're only getting one game tonight. KGN to find one with the pistol. Sheesh, Blitz getting active.
Yep.
That's a huge pick right off the board. It is going to get traded out. Ascend's going to find one. You said they needed to show up. Well, there they are.
I know we're on a 3-minute delay, so we know for sure that they're not stream sniping here in this case, but Blitz getting active. He's part of that roam clear possibility, and wow, Osa downstairs with the pistol on site cleaning up. Boy, Matumba upstairs, they've got the calls going out. They know exactly where he's at. Yeah, they might be able to get this diffuser down, but they have vertical sight lines all over.
Yeah, it was a tough situation, and broke rule number 1, right? What's rule number 1, Whiskey?
You run, you die.
That's exactly what happened in the end. You got to be quick because you only get 7 seconds, but still got to keep the gun up. A valiant attempt, but it does find Outlast Black in a bit on the back foot here, as they need to find the next one to get themselves at least on the standard score line here. You don't want to go into your attack half 5-1, that is for sure.
Oh.
Unless you're able to bring that same pace to the game.
We have seen, we talk about Siege being for sure a defensive game, a lot of the defensive meta happening, but the question being, when you're in the T4, T3 competitive scene, teams definitely play different. Outlast Black might be more comfortable on attack. They might be able to turn this thing around. Love to see them win 1 on defense right now to take a 4-2 half, to put them in that better position, because like you called it out, 5-1, that's a tough climb, my friend.
Yep. Okay, for the defense, we are going to head back down to the Church Arsenal area with the addition of the Malusi and the Azami this time in K to stop those actions. Now, this is the game that I like, right? We talked about Azami being so instrumental on holding that dirt area. And if you get the right trench set up with those Kiva barriers, hold out long enough, you're able to see all the way to the backside, whole loop and dirt, all from one critical control point that is that back server area near there. Oh, got the mirror. What a shot.
Yep, the Twitch drone getting in, clearing utility, but able to clear the Cade? No, the Cade trap is still in place, or the Cade claw is still in place, and that's definitely difficult. Would have loved to have seen that be able to go down. Kitchen hatch is open though, so Hibana's going to work on getting that one open. One of the reasons we see her banned out occasionally, give a little bit of boost to the defense. Like you called it out earlier, you got to use a can opener on the hatch. It's a very dangerous position to play. She's able to open that very safely.
The shots ringing out as some pressure being put on KGN. Some pressure back on them as well. Gonna get that church wall opened up with those ace charges, and both hatches now good to go. So now here's what you're seeing, folks, right? This is one of those sites that, like Whiskey said, it takes a little bit longer to get active, right? So you've seen players get themselves set up on all the hatches, getting themselves set up on the crossfire, getting themselves set up for that bit of execute here. Oh, my mistake. I thought they had kitchen hatch open already. No.
Oh, yeah, well...
No, they're impact tricking.
Impact tricking the hatch. I mean, Ivana's got plenty of those pellets to go around, though. You still have got 1 more of those impacts out, plus 2 C4s. That's the piece I think that this attacking team's got to worry about the most. Ions and Retro still holding on to a C4. Gonna have to watch out for this hatch open if they can't get it.
Yep, and there's a Melusi charge going off, so that's some intel letting them know where they're at. There's the shots trying to answer to it, and it's going to be KGN. We're retreating a little bit. So he's on that 5 HP in a dream scenario. And now, ooh, I was just about to say Thatcher is sitting right there as well. But he's going to lose his life in the process. Sense finding another kill, as that's not going to tip the body balance in favor of anybody. We sit 4-4 here with the last 35. Starting to ring out.
That's wild there, my guy. There's that ACOG coming out, getting ready. Tweety playing that. Gonna fire at one, but C4, you can hear it sizzling and ready. Putting the hit on this on these defenders, but prone down in the back of sight.
Boy, this looks like a whole different team. Like what happened to the back and forth that we watched on map number 1. This is just a master class on how to play the attack side of Clubhouse.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it a little bit in the game chat, right? What happened? We saw that back and forth at the beginning and started off this conversation heading into round 3 that this absolutely seemed like the same back and forth we saw on Bank. That one went all the way, double overtime, 15 rounds. This one has
Attackers need
been
to locate and defuse as many bombs as they
a
can.
lesson here on Clubhouse attack, right? That was supposed to be for sure a 4-2, not even a 3-3 in this case. But the attackers take it 5-1 as we head into the second half of this. And Outlast Black, they better be a damn good attacking team, or we're definitely going to Oregon as that decider. But it feels like you don't want to give up this map so quickly, so easily. But UBUNTU is having a great map right now.
10 seconds
Yeah,
to
no
insertion.
kidding. This is a map that they practiced. Their dry runs are ready to go. Look, they're finished, basically finished setting up site within the first, within the prep phase. So,
Attackers
you
are
know,
moving
it's a
out to locate
practice
a bomb.
map. And on the defense, let's talk about what they're bringing to the table. Valkyrie instead of the Mozzie for the intel. Going to go with some of those default placements, or potentially to watch that kitchen, get the C4 ready to ring out. 4 of them, by the way. Capcan on the board, Mira and Cade to help set those layers up on the bottom part of it. It's that Capcan call, I think, that might be a little bit scary here for Outlast Black, right? They're going to want to show some aggression. They're going to want to find those early picks, and Capcan could prove to be the
Attackers have
downfall if they
located a
don't
bomb.
quite get it sussed out.
Well, and if you're the UBUNTU team, you've got the ability to play aggressively on defense, but also maybe not play conventionally, right? You can be more spread out. You can try, you've got a few rounds to play with to try some things that are unconventional and throw this Outlast Black attack off. But for the most part, they're playing very conventionally. Why? Because on Clubhouse, that can win. And the Valcam inside the jukebox, love that.
Did it get sussed out?
Scanning for electronic devices.
Did
I
IQ
don't
find it?
I don't think so. She's looking on the other side of the room. They're clearing out the Capcan traps, but I'm not sure that she got that Valcam.
Could be huge. Could be huge if they get all that info and look that pushing up. Oh my lord, it's the Maverick trying to go for a little bit of that silent entry. That's going to be the first kill taken off Matumba to fall. Holy cow! And just like that, KGN gets a double with that C4 off the back of the intel inside of Kitchen. And just like that, it is all on the shoulders of Sens, who had a killer map on map number 1, but is struggling to stay at that even mark currently. Ooh, there we go. That puts her a little bit over the 1.0. Still got a whole minute. I mean, this is 1v3. Possible. Definitely possible. We've seen Sens pull off magic.
And not only a 1v3, but it's a 1v3 where they do have a lot of the site setup done from the attacking perspective. They got some hatches open. They've got some of these sight lines open. Gonna push in, though, and make it tough. And the Capcan was gonna get it if Sloth didn't, right? Ash walked right in, did not see the Capcan. That one was definitely going off. Just dodged the explosive there.
Sheesh. Okay, well, it's going to be Outlast Black this time taking their time out on the back end. of what we saw, a completely different scenario here, as they need to be perfect for 5 in a row against this what's seeming kind of unstoppable clubhouse team.
Yeah, and like you called it, this is the second time we've seen Outlast Black take the timeout they did on the previous map, and it didn't go their way. That 75% stat. So the question is this going to be the one? We said we can see Ubuntu play a little bit unconventionally, which might give Outlast a win, maybe get some momentum back. But on the other hand, very likely that they're just going to continue to play Clubhouse at the level they have been, which has been tremendous, right? 6-1, 5 in a row. Unbelievable, my guy. This is Outlast is really going to have to lock in to turn something around here. And Retro specifically, too. We need to see him get a little bit more active. Sitting at that Owen, that's a tough place to be here when you're already 7 rounds in.
Yeah, it starts to get a little bit of that mental chalk going on, if you will, right? And this, like we said, is a best of 3, so it's not a sprint. You do have to pace yourself, and these teams, of course, have been playing Siege all day, right? It's the early morning theories,
Attackers
it's
need
the
to
dry
locate and
runs, it's
defuse
the
and
ranked
respond to
before.
the
So, I mean, they've been playing a lot of Siege, which means that mental fatigue can start to kick in a little bit, and that's when those mistakes start to happen, and that's kind of what it seems. It doesn't necessarily, I don't know, man. It's just Outlast is having a tough map on Clubhouse. Now, there's several things I think they can do. Start pushing together, right? We gotta be able to take and isolate those roamers. I think that's going to be step one. And well, maybe step one is actually taking KGN off the board.
10 seconds to insertion.
I mean, taking KGN for sure, and the mirror windows, right? You have to have a dedicated strat in this case from the attacking side to be able to deal with them. They're bringing the Ash, and the thing that they don't have is any backup, right? The Twitch isn't there, so if Ash is not able to clear out a window, they can't get her in place. That could be definitely difficult, because if the mirror window is in place on that bathroom, that makes it very, very difficult for the attacking team to get a win. And I'm a little worried that they don't have enough explosive utility, maybe to deal with all of this defensive utility. Like from a range, you've got the Ace. He's opening up one piece. I think that was a construction single.
Bullet hole there. Taking a shot onto construction. Not gonna find anything though. However, yeah, I think you might be right. It's got a ton of defensive util, especially in the hands of Castle and its zombie. So what we talk about is really trying to funnel the attacking team. Well, this is it in full motion. Start to make a push towards this construction. Oh no! And then, oh, that's tough. That's going to be the Helcon, 60 extra HP, but does get traded out. Is Tweety going to find one? No way! The soft breach kill.
Where did that come from?
Oh.
On the castle?
On the castle window, yeah.
Oh, on
man.
Okay, well, I was going to say they didn't have enough explosive range utility, I said earlier, but I guess they didn't need it. They're going to go ahead and try and do it with the soft breach.
That was amazing. And that puts the body balance in favor of Outlast Black here as they find themselves up in a 4-2 scenario. Now they can start to take their time a little bit, really open up sight, really start to get that push happening together. And they're going to drone it. Oh, hello. Wow. KGN just being absolutely phenomenal here. Takes us into a 2v2. Just like that, it's equalized up, and now it's going to be all on Sloth's shoulders in this 2v1. Finds one, looking to find the second towards the bathroom area, and he's going to do it! What?
No way, my guy. No way. How they threw a 4-2 lead into a victory there, 7-1. Oh, heartbreaking there for the Outlast Black team to go down so heavily, so quickly.
No kidding. It was just a completely turned around team. That was completely turned around. Absolutely different. So, okay. What's next?
What's next is Oregon, my friend. It is a best of three. We saw Outlast win Bank 8-7 in a very back and forth match. Clubhouse falling 7-1 there to Ubuntu. So now Oregon is all that's left that separate these two teams from a playoff spot in the Wild Goose Chase, my friend.
Yeesh. All right, folks. Well, you heard it. Sit back, relax, and fill your drink to the tippy top because when we got come back, it's going to be the stunning conclusion and map number 3. Heyo.
Let's go.
What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. If you're just joining us, well, holy cow, you have missed an absolute dramatic showing of through 2 maps, taking us into the Decider, Oregon, here in this best of 3. I am still the Reverend Whiskey Glitter, and with me, as always, my partner and co-host, Mr. Whiskey Run. What do you think of Mr. Whiskey?
Well, it has been a wild goose chase indeed. Bringing us back, we've got 2 games left before we are in the final playoffs and ready for this wild goose chase league that is just kicking off. And just want to say one more time, if you're just joining us, this the Siege Double Shot is donating all of the ad revenue, all of the sub revenue to the admins running the wild goose chase to help them out taking care of this league and the teams that are playing in it. And speaking of the teams that are playing in it, we've got Outlast Black taking on Ubuntu, and that first game, double overtime, 8-7 victory for Outlast. The second, sort of a massacre there on Clubhouse with a 7-1 victory from Ubuntu. So going into the third map of this best of 3, I think the teams are ready, my friend. How are you feeling?
I think that's it, my friend. I think it's time. It's a best of 3, and we are headed into the third and final map of this evening. It's Oregon. It's, if you've ever played a round of Siege, my friends, you have played it on Oregon. Let's get into it.
It is time, my friend.
Okay, so Oregon, right? We've seen some pretty outrageous bans, kind of going on that first one with the Capital, and then kind of standardized their way kind of through the rest of the Ying, the Solus, the Fenrir. Do you think it's going to be similar on this Bunker Wars potential push?
That is a great question, my friend. Which one is it going to be? I mean, I'm hoping we see something interesting come out from this one for sure. Want to see the Hibana, the Maverick, but it's probably going to be the Ying and Dokkaebi, let's be honest.
You're probably right.
That's what I want to see. We wanted to see something interesting come out, but in this case, no, not going to happen.
Yeah, that's fine, right? The Dokkaebi, it's absolutely, we see the flank on the Oregon all the time. It's such a huge map for that aforementioned flank, so I imagine that we're probably going to see the Solus being banned out also because she's so powerful on this. There you are, standard Ying next. Be taken off the board. Don't want to deal with that on the hatch play or in through that 2F big window for that the coveted quick plant.
I think that it's a good point, right? We're in the best of 3. It's for the playoff spot in a league with a huge prize pool in the T4 T3 arena. It's a big prize pool that we're looking at here. So hopefully we're seeing the teams, we want them to play a little bit more aggressive, play interesting, but they want to win, right? And it's all come down to this map. There's nothing left after this best of 3. It's a best of 1 at this point. So winner moves on. I think they're going to be more conservative. We're not going to see some of those crazy plays, some of the crazy bans we maybe wanted to see as part of Oregon. And look at that. That is like the 90% competitive lineup we've seen banned out at this point.
Yeah. Dokkaebi, Ying, Fenrir, and Solus. Take notes, Ubisoft. Those are the next ones that need the the nerf. Leave our grenades and Frost alone.
Yeah, that's right. We want to see those. Well, what do we already know what we're going to see. There are already some changes they've lined up for us, right? We're going to see the 1.5 disappear.
Don't know. That's just a rumor, not confirmed yet. So we won't speculate on that one here for sure. It is going to be a first floor site, however, to start us out. Oh, I love that. That's a little bit of a switch up to the Oregon style that we've seen normally, right? It's the 2F defense. It's that bunker defense to start as the primary. No, it is going to be the kitchen and meeting side. And we're going to see some fun operators to do it. I love this defensive lineup. Castle to slow them down on the back end. Capcan to slow them down for the rest of their defensive showing. Mazi for the intel. Malusi on yet again the slowdown, and Legion. Bit of the cheese up, bringing out that slowdown city. I mean, these are all operators designated to try to keep you not functioning at your best or your quickest.
I love that small tower cap cam placement too, plus a little bit of insecurity. He's the sixth man coming out, and you're right, we talked about that first floor site play being incredibly prevalent on Chalet. Not so much on Bank, but on Clubhouse and here, making its way onto Oregon as well. Oregon was slow in the uptake, but we have definitely seen an increase in that pick rate.
Ready for the spawn peek. And there he goes. He's going to run out. Is he going to find something? Yes, he is. P10 going to take the dome piece off Scary. And that's going to take the body mount shift over in favor of Outlast as they find a second one. Matuma getting active on KGN. And now, oh my lord, okay, keeping the numbers in their side takes us to a 5v2, all on the shoulders of Osa and Gridlock, and they're closing up that back end into Attic, so it's just going to make them work that much harder to try and suss out where the heck the last of these roamers are.
Wow, that nade took an interesting bounce. I think she was trying to get it in the corner there to take care of the cap cam playing behind the bunks, but it took a weird bounce there.
Yeah. Oh, ton of damage onto the cap cannon as he lives to tell the tale after that explosion. And it seems like we've kind of hit a hurry up and wait here part. They do have the intel, of course, where Gridlock is.
Tracks out.
At this point, she's just toying with him. Not much she's going to be able to do to suss him out of there.
That's right.
And that, go ahead.
I was going to say, not with any, with the nades not left on, not going to have a hard time pushing him out of that location.
That is going to be Gridlock taking off the board, and there is the intel letting them know exactly where O's is at. So it's the deadliest game, a ring around the rosy as they start to swing in. Rings out the shotgun, going to pay for it. This now goes into the prone position, trying to see if they can get its dip out. Try to rotate around, get lit. It's really good movement here as they might be able to get somebody near that garage area, but it's a swing from both sides potentially. She's moving all over the place.
Hoa gonna find the last one there. That cap can, again, just a very impactful player this round. I mean, that came out strong, and that's exactly what the Outlast Black team needed. They needed to break out of that funk after losing 6 in a row on Clubhouse. Needed to take that first one.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's going to be round 1 into Outlast flavor, and they're already looking a little bit better than they did on map number 2. Getting one right out the gate here.
Yeah, already looking better. Boy, that's tough. You know, when you can say that coming out of the first round, that it's already better than the whole last map. That definitely says something about how difficult that Clubhouse map was. So very happy to see it. You know, like we say all the time, we don't have any biases here as the casters. We just love watching good Siege. So that double overtime, that was that back and forth. Both teams playing tremendously. When it's a blowout, you know, I want to see both teams really be in it and fighting for it. I love a good blowout occasionally, but rather see that back and forth because it means both teams are playing great.
Yeah, now here's what I want. I'm putting this on the bucket list next since they've been fulfilling all these wishes just recently. I want a blowout on map 1, and then a reverse blowout on map number 2, and then the double overtime in map 3. Yeah.
Okay,
now
all right.
That's an exciting Siege.
I can see where you're coming from. And you know what? I'm here for it.
Let's go. Okay, folks, let's talk about the defense here. We take it up to the 2F location. Going to bring some similar ops that we saw down below, but sans the castle. Not going to be on the board this time. Oh, the Aussie Repel going to find one. What a shot on the Hoa, and that is going to be, that's a difficult way to die. Mute off the board. Now, of course, he did get his gadgets down, so his work has been done, but it's that SMG-11, it's that shoddy off the board that can prove so pivotal in this close quarter combat. Ions to find the trade.
Oh, in that big tower position, they're going to reinforce this thing off. He's done his work, got the kill, got the slowdown, reinforced that off. Now, the rest of the fight going to be taking place on that main breach, which they've left half of it open again. We talk about this being an interesting way to play that we've seen much more prevalent with not allowing the attacking team to get themselves set up on a double wall hard breach there. They've left it soft, so that way they can take a few shots from a defensive perspective, still have a little cover for in the reinforcement. Just makes it that much more difficult to try to get it open from a hard breach.
Yeah, no kidding. So tied up 4-4 as the advantage sits with nobody. It's going to be Sens thinking that she's got a little bit of intel coming from that back area, and Retro to be there for some support. Oh. Want to see if they catch somebody.
Well, and maybe a possibility to be a distraction technique. Frost going to make that long rotate over to small tower maybe and put some pressure on the players trying to push big window. That would be a huge flank from her.
Yeah, no kidding. That is going to give the numbers advantage over to Outlast Black as they find themselves in a 4-3 situation as they start to open up that attic wall. Frost taking a little bit of damage, but Retro able to find one onto Scary. It now takes us into a 4v2, all resting on the shoulders of Tweedy and Sloth as they try to put something together here on the back end of the round. 39 seconds left.
They've got this attic control, but it's not very impactful at this point because you've got all of these defensive assets in place. Plus, they had that bulletproof cam sussing everyone out here as they try and make the push in. Tweedy's going to push in, find one. Let's go.
15 seconds
Sends
left.
to take a pistol pop, and that's going to be the swing. And Wamai going to close that out. Matumba saying, no, thank you. Defense to find another one, Whiskey. So, round 3 is going to see the defense up by 2.
I mean, you asked for,
double
okay,
their win.
you asked for the reverse sweep. You asked for a sweep and then the reverse sweep and then the double overtime. They're just doing it out of order right now. They did the double overtime first. You know, you needed to communicate it to start this game off, not when we got to that third map. But no, for real, what I want to see, both teams come at it here a little bit harder. And Ubuntu, they've got the assets in place. Gonna go down to the basement here. It's gonna be the right play. I think I wonder whether or not that first floor to start with on Oregon threw them off a bit.
Yeah, maybe put them a bit on the back foot. We're quite expecting that. But, I mean, this is a good team, right? We watched them just 7-1 on the last one, so I have no doubts that they're going to get active. It's just kind of trying to adapt to what the team's bringing, right? Got to be a little bit more proactive instead of reactive, and I think that's what we're about to see out of this attacking team. Is they're going to start to figure out how Outlast is playing to make this a little bit more of a game. Not that it's not a game.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
That's true, but certainly the defense bringing along all the people we'd love to see. That bring along that Goyo for the basement site, plus Amira, plus I think the big boost here, Retro on the Lord himself. You know, whether or not that's the perfect pick for the basement hold, I love seeing it, and we've seen a lot of success from him holding that elbow area as the alternative to smoke, especially after he lost his deployable.
I'm going to go for some of that verticality. Buck to start droning into the 2F location, and with the warden up there, does get spotted out. He's going to take some bit there. Holy cow!
He got spotted out.
Anyways.
No, it's a swing or be swung mentality. Scary says, I'm going to be able to take that and win it, but Ions was just absolutely on fire right now. Or that was Matumba upstairs. 4-1-1. Just having a great game and feeling very comfortable and going to take that swing. Scary 0-3. He's got to find a way to change up those numbers here as we roll in to the halfway point in this first half.
Yep, absolutely. So, minute and 44 still left on the board, and it's going to be a full bunker back down to sight by the defense, because now, of course, as we were talking about it, all they have to do is rely on that trade game. So, I'm going to opt for some intel, give over that first floor presence, and start to let this attack team put some pressure on the verticality. Now, they only have one can opener and no way to deal. Well, no, they do. Grim, they have Grim Impact EMP, so they still can at least get that main hatch open.
As long as neither of them go down in the process. Oh, taking a couple shots, going to try and get that mirror window open. Sending out that ash charge. So, still got a lot of utility there from the Capital and from Grim. He's still got 5 of those canisters, so they certainly have a ton of defensive utility. But the Shumika launcher coming out putting a lot of area denial in place. Oh, thought that was a mist drone, but Matumba walks back into fire there from the freezer.
Yeah, huge play taken forward to Matumba off the board, equalizing that body balance. Now with 30 seconds left, watching this full 20-second mana push in, and he's going to be some siege timing on that swing.
Wow.
Quick rotates, gets himself out and around and hit the angle on the freezer, and the double gonna come off of the back of that homemade rotate now into a 4v2, and fire just raining down from everywhere, gonna slow everything down and allow that Vector to put the work in. Sheesh.
Like you called it.
So much fire.
So much fire indeed. Plus, I loved it. The homegrown rotate, Kaid bringing along that shoddy, just able to clear everything out there at the end and make that rotate possible. Grabbing a double in freezer and a double from Sense there. Great round. Outlast Black firing on all cylinders for sure is on their defense here of Oregon, and they're gonna go to kitchen and meeting. So back to that first floor site.
Well, it's a round rotate done. Maybe try to get the worst one out of the way early. Could be the thought here, right? You feel fairly confident in your 2F. Feel fairly confident in your bunker war. This is the one that may be the bit of the question mark. Although they're running the same exact lineup for it, so this is obviously a dry run, or this is obviously a strat that they've dry run before.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, feeling comfortable with this lineup, feeling comfortable with the way they're playing Oregon right now, including that first floor site.
And got a little bit of retribution on their side, right? They did just get spanked in the last map. So there's a little bit of something to prove here, Whiskey.
I think that's probably factoring in there, right? They need to absolutely go crazy to try and find a way to make this happen. To put the mental from their perspective back in as well. They've got to get locked in and deliver a blow on top of it to Ubuntu to hopefully, go bigger than a 4-2 half on Oregon.
Okay, so we're gonna get some drones in sight. Trying to figure out where the heck the rest of these defenders are. A little bit of bait here, right? You see him keep taking shots at the window and looking towards the door. What he's waiting for is that call. He's holding on to that area, and look at this. This is about to potentially be a free kill for the... Oh, whoa, whoa! She's gonna know her way right back out of there as those shots start to ring out, letting her know that they're on to the plan. They're gonna have to make another grenade to force Matumba out of sight. What?
Never mind.
He gets forced out of sight and finds a kill along the way, take the scenic route, but it is gonna get traded out as he's gonna pay the price for being so bold on the run through, and that's gonna take us into a 4-4. What a shot! Jeez.
Yeah, that KGN not able to find a kill at that point, that really felt like a siege timing, wrong place, wrong time. Oh, wow. The soft breach goes off completely. I mean, it looked like it almost knocked Capcan off his feet, but definitely put him in a position there for Ace to take him down immediately after.
That would be a fun mechanic if the soft breach charges kind of air jabbed you out of the vicinity.
Sure as hell would in real life, man. That thing goes off, bam.
Goodbye. Okay, 3-3 here. Last 60 seconds start to wind down and starts to put a little bit of pressure on this attack team. They need to find one kill to get that body bound, set themselves up for an execute, and there's one. Oh no, but he goes
Capcan.
down as well. The Capcan? Oh.
Yes. The security door, and then you see immediately the other attacker checking both that doorway real quick, seeing their player just go down, and boy, the air jab, knew the air jab was there, but just could not quite get an angle on it. Sen's still up and around.
He got blasted too, man. Put him backwards. So man's starting to go down, and that's going to be the shot as Sloth finds the double.
Wow, and like you said, Plant goes down to C4 from Ions. Let's go. He is a sliver of health, though. This is going to be an incredibly difficult comeback, even for the 7-1. No way.
my lord, Ions with the triple kill, and now this looks a little bit more feasible. It's low health versus low health. Still 20 seconds to find this attacker, oh, not the air jab again. That's going to give his location away.
Position compromised.
My lord, right underneath the hatch. Gonna have to be perfect here. Starts to stick it. Oh, but here's the footprints. Now knows that he's up top. Has to hit this. 2 seconds left to be able to do so.
No!
It's gonna be a too little, too late scenario, and that's gonna be the attackers finding their first round. Incredible attempt.
Villain getting the empty frag at the end to pad the KD, but great job there by the attackers getting that plant down and holding on long enough. Good back and forth there from the Nomad playing upstairs to make sure that Ions was not going to get a free shot, and it did not push it, didn't do anything crazy, just got the plant down, made it happen. Finally, we see the attackers take one, stopped this Outlast momentum. They had won 3 in a row. We head into round 5 with potentially a little bit more balanced play as now we go in. Outlast, they've lost their first defense. It was on that first floor, though, so like you said, maybe that was their worst site. They wanted to get out of the way early. Now we're going to go back up to the 2 historically, definitely, statistically a better site for the defense.
Yeah, if they have a similar thing, they could, or a similar couple of rounds, could find themselves on a 5-1 on the split. But I don't think that the attacking team is ready to let that kind of lead start to slip away as they start to adapt to how Outlast is playing. Found themselves a little bit better on the round on the last one, start to build off some of that momentum that they had on the last map. Get active and get going. Down by 2. We're in start 5.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb.
Look at this. I like this spot where the we see teams open up that attic single, get out there, put some pressure in big tower, rotate back in, and lock it down.
Yep, it's a good call. So they do bring one noticeable addition to the board here. It is going to be forced being brought out yet again. You get rid of some of that extension utility. So pivotal here, right? Take out some of those BPs, maybe some of those Malusi traps, definitely some of those frost traps, because as we've seen, even after the rework, you find yourself in a frost trap. It's almost a guaranteed death sentence.
Yeah, I think that main focus is going to be trying to get that that deployable down that's holding the entry in from bedroom. They've got that set up, but the mute jammers in place make that Flores a little bit more difficult. They're going to use the Thatchers to try and make sure they get that drone in and clear it.
That's going to be Frost to find them. Oh, man, that's such a tough pick. Scary going to get off the board as he now sits 0-5. Just can't buy himself a kill here in the first couple of rounds. Not to be deterred, he'll find his kills. It's going to be the problem is that's the hard breach off the board. Now Sense gets taken. Sense finds Tweety off the board as well. Now the body bounce tipped in favor of Outlast Black. Shots onto the back attic. Not going to find anything, however.
Yeah, that's a dangerous spot to push up. Oh, with somebody still playing back attic, they made the push up. Unfortunate there. And boy, this feels dangerous too. In line from that, they've got to find a way. Well, they've only got 1 left. She's still got 3 flashes though, so got a little bit of utility to put some distraction in place, hopefully. But the problem is, it's Warden playing back there.
Right, and they've got somebody ready for, I was just about to say, they've got the buddy system in place and are going to be ready for whatever sort of swing is coming, catches some slipping on the back end, and that's going to be Sense to find another kill. And the defense, feeling pretty good. Now, we've talked about it, Whiskey. 4-1, not wholly unexpected for a defensive-sided map, right? If the attacking team can find themselves one more, then honestly, they're not feeling too bad going into their defensive half.
No, for sure. I think the biggest thing is coming out of the 7-1 loss, I feel like seeing Outlast Black hold their own, come back, win that 3 in a row, and win 4. If they can put up a 4-2 half, even though, like, you know, from an outside looking in, not seeing the context of this entire best of 3, that'd feel pretty, you know, it's what you'd expect on a defensive-sided map, but I feel like that's worth a lot more based on what we saw the map previous.
Right. Now you see me? Bringing out that dedicated roam susser outer is the official term. Jackal going to be on the board to see what sort of roam investment that
seconds left before
Outlast Black has brought. And it looks like pretty much,
5
you know,
seconds left before
just
insertion.
by the operators, we're going to see a lot of bunker down play.
Attackers are moving out to
Mira,
locate a bomb and defuse it.
Flores, Goyo, all those operators dedicated to making sure that you can get inside of sight. But can I have some? It is that rank mindset with Warden up on the roam.
Well, we've seen specifically Matumba play this, and the last time that we cast this Outlast Black, Gotham City Janitors team holding this angle on main door. He loves this spot. Laying down prone, wait until somebody puts the hit on, and I feel like they knew that that was going to happen, and you called it out. Scary finds his first. That was the important one. Past the mental block, off the Owen. Now he's got his one down, and he's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, now if we want to see a little bit more, sense to find another. If we want to see a little bit more, it's going to have to be KGN next to step up here and find their first kill for the round, or for the match as well. It's going to start to see this defense bunker back down now, kind of get all of their resources dedicated to the downstairs side as they've managed to waste a minute of time off the board.
One of the bingo spots left on the SI bingo card is the KKKKK in chat, just coming out here. So, not quite. I don't think it's been seen in the SI chat here, but made an appearance here in this this wild goose chase play in the game.
What an apt name for this tournament. I just love it so much, and just really honestly.
A bomb has been located.
Big shout out to Goose and Nomical for throwing this thing together, and making sure that the players still got the action that they so deserved. Yeah, just goated in the game, real class acts. Big shout out. 4-4, we said whiskey.
4-4 minute left. A lot of action still to happen. Was he sitting upstairs on 2F, holding down a little bit of this defensive pressure? Right here in this case, right? Do they know that No, they don't know that he's upstairs. No one was sussing him out. Is he able to open that hatch and put some pressure down on the meeting room below? But no, he's not going to do that. He's going to try to rotate down those main stairs.
Yeah, imagine the world we live in with a roaming Cade. I love it. Oh my lord. And unfortunately, not going to be working out in the favor of the defense there. Scary going to find his second.
Another. Don't let him start to cook, man.
But I tell you what, Tweety finds one as well, as now we find ourselves into a 3v2, into a 1v3. Scary finds his third. He heard me call him out, and he says, you know I can do better, my guy. The C4 going to ring through, but it gets shot out of the air. That's going to be the post-plant scenarios now. Capitao sitting on that dreaded deployable that is so... oh, geez. Oh, what a shot. Going to find it. Now brings the shotgun, and not going to be enough. As he swings, it is going to be KGN to find their first kill.
Wow, there we go. That was... I knew I heard you up there. There it is, round 7. So that is the 4-2 half. And we see this. We're going to take a quick tech pause here. The player's asking for it. But finally, we see them come alive in that last round.
Yep. All right, folks. So a quick little tech pause, and we will be right back with it to give you the stunning conclusion of map number 3. So sit back, relax, fill your drink up to the tippy top. Ayo.
Let's go.
Everything I say
What's up and welcome
Defenders,
back.
protect your bombs from
Tech
being
pause
defused by
done,
attackers.
data, goodbye, sayonara, see you later. And it's time to get into it. It is a 4-2 on the split. A bit standard.
That's clear. Make it joint.
But I doesn't seem like it's played out that way, right?
No, I've for real. Like we talked about, that we saw a crushing performance there from Ubuntu on the previous map. For Outlast Black to come back and win 4-2, I think feels like a bit of a bigger victory than just a 4-2 standard split on Oregon. So now that that's done, though, right? They've got that piece in place. Now it is all down to the win. Who's going to find it and make it happen? This is a best of 3, but we've split 1-1 on the first. So it is all coming down to this. The winner moving on to the playoffs in the Wild Goose Chase. The loser going home, gonna have to play those other leagues as an alternative. So what they got left, this is it. Last opportunity for both of these teams to make the playoffs. It all ends here at Oregon.
That's right. It's make or break, do or die. It's a 4-2 at 2:35. Let's go, folks. So, defense. We're going to talk about it. This is a pretty standard setup, right? We saw it on the other side of the board. The cap can being brought out. Really cheeky locations you can get those traps into. And why is that important? Is because it's setting the pace. It's letting the attacking team know that you're going to dedicate some resources to outside the map. A bit of investment. Now that's going to be Retro to find his dome piece missing after the first exchange here, and that's going to leave body bounce tipped in favor of the defense.
KGN, one of the other big ones. So you called out taking KGN off the board as one of those early round win scenarios on the previous map, because he was having a great one. Has not been able to find the same level of success here on Oregon, but he's out bringing Capcan and those sixth man traps and playing. Oh, I was going to say, did he get misdroned in kitchen on top of it? This might be his opportunity.
Huge. And now what you're watching with the blitz is moving slow. He's not trying to give away that they've got a shield in this bunker, so that when they get time to make that push, they're not expecting the blitz to necessarily come through. And with no Goyo on board, there's none of that area denial to really stop him. No Goyo, no smoke. Gonna have to rely on those Kiva barriers and hopefully some of those Capcan traps on the door, though I think he's gonna be heading elbow once he gets inside. So 5-4. Last minute starting to tick away. We're going to see Grim starting to put his bees in. Give some of this intel for the blitz. And there he goes, starting to make his move. Pushes in on the yellow, gets the flash. But it's the crossfire set up. They're ready for it. Sloth with the double kill. And it is going to be sent to 5-1 onto Pillin. And now Cade to go down. Takes us into the 3v3. Might be recoverable. No, he's going to get taken off the board. And it's going to be Hoa trying to get some action there towards the back end of the closet, and it's going to be scary on the flank. Could find one, but he's going to find his dome piece missing. 30 seconds left, and now find ourselves into a 2v2.
Hive deployed.
Bees going out. That's going to reveal some locations inside of Freezer. Ready to get that plant down. The cross is set up, Whiskey.
Oh, but with the bees in place, they're going to know exactly when they make the push out. That's what we saw happen there. So now it is a 2v1. All up to Sloth to try and find a position here, but he's in a rough spot trying to push in with multiple defenders covering those angles, and gonna take a couple shots through. He down Sense.
Now does he know the down Sense? Now Ho is outside of in this bunker area. Yep, gets the confirmation that he made the kill. 10 seconds that he's got to get that defuse started. He's going to have to start to make the push up and not too much worry about the kill now, and that's going to be unfortunate because now 7 seconds left. He gets
a
the
quad,
but it's
not enough time.
It's not enough time.
No
He's
way.
Lose, even though he got the quad piece. But a valiant attempt by the Wamai, but it was just the heads-up play of the attackers there. Get in, get the plant, set the cross, and then work it from there. Sheesh.
Oh man. Yeah, great setup there from the Outlast Black side. They take their first attacking win. That's exactly what we need.
All right, Whiskey. Well, now we find ourselves in a bit of a backward situation here as the defense find themselves down by 3, 1 away from a match point scenario.
Attackers
What
need to
in the
locate
world
and defuse
are they
bombs.
going to do? What's the win condition here to turn this game around?
I mean, we're in basement on Oregon. This seems like this should be statistically certainly a site that they're gonna win. They were close. Boy, I'm trying to think through how that last round went. Where could they put some better positioning in? I feel like I want more area denial. It's one of the things we talked about. The Outlast Black team brought pretty consistently, and I think we saw Ubuntu bring on Bank as an example in those basement sites, right? They don't have the smoke. They don't have
5 seconds to insertion.
the Tachanka. They don't have the Goyo as alternatives there, so they're all brought fraggers along. Nobody for the area denial. I feel like that's a bit of a miss. I'd like to see that adaptation going into hopefully some of these future defensive rounds.
Yeah, I think that's a good play, right? We know that Outlast is going to be aggressive. Plenty of VOD to tell you that. Work on slowing them down. I think that's a good case. Now, they did bring a couple of operators to do that, right, with both the Mira and the Azami. But will it be enough? That's going to be the main question mark here. Does get zoned out. Does get sussed out, so it's going to be the retreat back down to site. KG
Attackers bomb diffuser has been
like
dropped.
he's running. He might find himself in a bit of a predicament here. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Unfortunate. Unfortunate for KGN. You broke rule number 1 and you did it in a big way off the back of where there was already some activity. Either a missed call by the Azami as she got back down to site, or Warden just trying to think that he can make it. Unfortunately, you're going to lose his life on that one. That's going to give body bounce to Outlast as they're in search for their match point scenario.
yeah, we've got to see Ubuntu hold on here. They've got down a man. Got to play careful. Got to make sure that they've got these angles covered. You know, trying to put the work in. I love that we saw the Ash have to use one of that PC utility to not crack open one of the mirror windows. That seems like a big win for this defense. That Ash charge.
Yep. Oh man, just having a difficult time getting this patch opened up.
Oh no!
Oh no, just barely. There he goes. Now he gets it. It's 1:18 left, and it's a 5v3. And Mattel's
The drop happening, but Sloth playing in that same position back in the supply closet where he got the win from before, along with Mira in this case. Oh, that is unfortunate. Taking a shot. It's a 2v2. Scary grabbing one. That's exactly what they needed. 4, 6, and 3. Big turnaround for him, but he's going to go down to Retro, who grabs a double. Finish off this defending team. Wow.
Wow, what a heads-up play by the Maverick. Takes the shot, 180, flicks around to find the second one. Just seeming like Outlast was not happy with the way map number 2 went, and just showed up in full force for map number 3. So now the defense has to be perfect for 4 in a row, back to back to back to back. That was 4, right?
I think so. Yep.
Never do live math on Siege. I guess that means also counting to 4.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Well, so now we go upstairs, and maybe some of those same situations don't apply, but say one of the things I do love, they brought the area denial, right? They've got the smoke in play, and bringing the mute. I think that was a really important piece. Outlast Black doing a great job with the drones and the intel. Plus, specifically on the second floor site, I think, if they bring a Flores, if they bring a Twitch, having the mute jammers in place, really powerful for them.
Yeah, agreed with you. The area denial plus denying of the intel, I think you're right. This could be a round where the defense starts to make a comeback, because that's what we want to see, right? We want the double overtime. Come on, you can do it. Make this into a bit more of a match. Keep your head on. This is a game you have played. This is a map you know, and you can do it. Bring it back. Let's see some OT.
It's on Oregon, right? This should definitely be the defensive powerhouse, right? It's been one of those 50-50 maps, but also 4-2 splits, right? At the very least, we should be seeing this one go to overtime. But Ubuntu right now, not hitting on all cylinders like we were. It sounds like definitely a different team than we saw in Clubhouse. So trying to find a way to hold off the Outlast Black attack.
Amaru on the board. well. Now that's a good way to start it. Oh, unfortunate on the trade, though. It is going to be Matumba to be taken out first, and there's another one called on the attack side. That's going to get body bounce to nobody is taken. Is also down, but I was going to say potentially recoverable. Kind of fell into a 3v3. That was all within the first minute, folks, so things are still getting active. Things are still moving, and it's going to be a zombie to hold down that Rollins area.
Yeah, the Amaru playing up. We're seeing the Grim come out. Still a lot of utility here from this attacking team, making her way up into Armory, immediately onto the cam. But watching those Legion Goose come out, and there's that Mute Jammer in play, blocking some of this intel from the attacking team.
Yep, here we go. Starting to make that push. Selma charge is going off. Just opening up some more of those head holes into that games area where the potential for the plant to go down. Be all coming from this backside now, waiting for the flank that is potentially coming. The zombie going to take the drone off, but she does get spotted out, so now they know that she's still got somebody sitting back here. They don't really have much to deal with her outside of the pinging location.
There's that SMG-11 from Amaru coming out, trying to clear out, that barbed wire. They've got a little bit of real estate here in the game's location. A Retro coming big again, plus Ions. He's traded out quickly by Sloth. It is a 2v1, 30 seconds left, my guy.
1v1 now, 30 seconds left, and they're in a old-fashioned shootout. It's over this Kiva barrier. The shots come in, and the defenders are going to find their first in their long quest for 4.
Sloth coming up big there at the end, heading into round 10. Continues to be on match point, but like you said, they needed to be perfect for 4. They found one. It's a 6-3 as we head in. Wow. Downstairs, though, heading to the basement, that laundry supply. Which one is it going to be? This is one that they have struggled with. I feel like that area denial came out, made a big difference, but they are not going to bring it on this defense either.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
6-3. Said they had to be perfect for 4. They found one. Now it's going to be the This is a classic. You see a lot of teams use this for warming up. One direction you can come through that bunker, so they've got a couple of fun strats cooked in line outside of the normal strats, the fun bunker work. Defense, utilizing that Mozzie for the intel. But outside of that, keeping things mostly the same. We are going to see Legion for a little bit of that slowdown, but highlight tape here. Sloth set 13-7.
Yeah, going crazy right now for sure, and definitely helping to carry this team. Definitely need to see KGN step it up though. He's playing Warden. That's a great play here for the basement, and we talked about this near the end of Bank. The Nook making an appearance. Nook or Knock, depending on where you're from. Plus the Monty. The attacking team can afford to take some chances, try some interesting strategies because they are up. They've got 3 rounds to play with. They don't have to be that standard attacker lineup. They can try some things. So great shot there from Dylan. Matumba going down early. It's definitely a loss for the attackers.
Yep. Ooh. And that's another one. Oh, does get the equalizer. There's Tweety going to find one. Puts us into a 4v3 situation, and that was all within the first minute, folks. So we saw a little bit of early action. Does put flash goes out, takes the swing, doesn't see anything. It is the Monty going to be following the Nook.
Oh no! A DC. Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, it's still a 3v4, and you got a little bit of a health advantage too, but it's still a Monty in play. You still have the Habana. You don't have the Ash for being able to clear out some of the mirror windows quickly and definitively, but you still have got the Habana on board to be able to clear out some of this. She's still that is huge. If they lose her, this is going to be extremely difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Now going to be dropping down from that 2F attic location. It'll be Monty to hold to make sure that we don't see Ivana getting taken out. And it sends, here we go, or, well, I guess it is sends, but it's actually Nook, I guess is what I meant to say. Hold that freezer area, same. It's not sussed out. Could be quite a huge play, especially now that they think they're pushing from this vertical area, especially Monty making all that noise down the back stairs. You got to know that the push is starting to come that direction.
A bomb has been
That's right. You got you have the Kiba berry in place. You have the barbed wire in place, so it's going to make a little bit tougher for him to make his trip down those stairs. And the big rotate coming out from Sens here, going to rotate around and try and help out some of this push.
Monty pushing in through the bunker area. Does see that. Oh my gosh! You're just getting all of this real estate for absolutely free.
Yeah, he ended up in the same place. Couldn't push down, couldn't get rid of the Kiba berry, but he's going to make it down in the same place by working through that bunker.
So now this is into a kind of an interesting situation. Grenade goes out, 8 seconds left. Gonna have to see the plane start to go down, but Monty not there to make the cover. Then it's gonna be the Nook to die next, and whoa, the pistol pop of P10 Roni gonna find that last kill. Jeez, it started to fall apart there. Able to hold on for another one, had to be perfect for 2. Instead, and do it. Had to be perfect for 4 and found 2. Excuse me.
I think we're going to take a quick tech pause as we work on getting that last player in. Hopefully it should be just a quick one, because was that it? Was that the sound of him coming right back in?
That was the sound we were hoping for.
All right, well, I think it's time to send it right back in, because we are right at the end. I can't believe we've made it to this point.
Yeah, no kidding. 6-4, got to be perfect for 2 more. Now, it seems like they're starting to build up a bit of momentum into their favor, right? It is the defense starting to have that kind of some of that maybe luck that feels like it. You know, getting more of those shots, starting to feel that momentum build up.
Attackers need to
2 more,
locate
and we
and
see
defuse
ourselves
as many bombs
OT
as they
on the
can.
decider map.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we were sitting at 6-2, it was certainly not feeling like we were going to be in that position, but UBUNTU not ready to give up yet. Want to fight for that position, fight for this, so they're going to go kitchen meeting. Now, it's the question mark. This is the site that historically doesn't have as good of a win rate as the other 2, so they did manage to win in the basement. That was the important one. Now, they got to win here on this first floor site in Oregon to keep the dream alive, my friend.
Ooh-wee, it's a
5
tough
seconds
order.
left.
It's the church side. It's verticality being played from both directions. Not like a super huge amount from below. It's not very much that floor is actually breachable. But definitely for the top floor play. So expect to see some heavy action by the defense up top here.
Yep, presence upstairs, and they've got 2 C4s on the board as well. If you had that Warden or the Mozzie playing downstairs for the C4s from below, there's some options in place for that. So this attacking team going to have to watch out. I expect, like you said, top down clear for sure to start with.
Yeah, pretty standard setup for this meeting.
No. KGN going down early. That's the Warden. He was doing a little running around. Went to shoot the drone as a bit of a distraction. Retro gonna fall though, so 4-4 with 2 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, no kidding. Takes us to a tied up, and I was gonna say normally what you see is go for that backstage area potentially, or front through split. Generally, if you go through that backstage, you see the OSA on the other side of it. You see the gridlock for that flank watch instead, which means they can get that split area. Potentially could be a 2-pronged attack here as they have 2 of the hard watch on the board. So it's not a huge loss. Matumba on the lurk.
Yeah, holding that. They're doing the top-down clear, so he's in that position, but there is plenty of defensive opposition there to be able to push him, and that is Sloth as well. Up, is he going to lose? I thought he was going to lose his toes in this battle. Going to take it on. Sloth wins and against Hoa in this battle, but just continuing to fight upstairs. Mutumba, though, I think he's all by himself from an attacker perspective. Oh, no. Got 2 of them up there still. That's what they needed to squeeze out Sloth.
Yeah, that was the buddy system in play. So 60 seconds left on the board. It's a 3v2. It starts to fall into the favor of the attack or the defensive team as time starts to wind down. But there it is. Oh, it starts to go. There it is now. Flash is ringing out.
Oh!
Warden not going to be a viable option as he gets taken out. So we're going to get ourselves in a post-plant scenario. And Whiskey, this could be it. They find the thermite to go down. It equalizes those numbers, takes us into a 2v1. And, oh my lord, Whiskey, this could be it. They could find themselves another round and stay alive even in this post-plant scenario. It's going to be Mutumba. Oh no.
Yeah, they're putting pressure on him. Do they have a defender downstairs that can go for the defuse? Yes, they do. He's putting pressure upstairs, and they are going to get it.
Wow.
Bomb diffuser disabled by defenders.
One away from tying this up. We
Defenders win.
might see that coveted OT. You know, you hear me say it all the time, folks. No bias towards any team. I want to see the best of the best, and to me, that is a 1v1 showdown in the double overtime of the decider map. And if any match has had the potential to possibly do that, it is this game. Outlast, 3 maps, 3 timeouts. Let's see if this one capitalized, or if they're able to capitalize off this one.
We're getting close to the 3-hour mark, so I know we've been casting our hearts out trying to figure out which of these 2 teams is going to go on and continue on the playoffs here on the Wild Goose Chase. And just a note on that, I know we said it during this setup, but again, all of the proceeds from the Siege Double Shot, gifted subs, ad revenue, we're giving to the admins here of the Wild Goose Chase to make sure that they are taken care of. They're trying to make this league a W set of admins and prod staff to kick this thing off and continue what was started. We need to finish, so appreciate everyone, all the players continue to make this league great. So Wild Goose Case continuing potentially for one more round, or is it going to be over right here? The 2F Oregon.
2F, gotta run it again all the way up top, and it's going to be Slowdown City. You talked about that area denial. Well, they responded in kind. KG going to bring out the smoke. Going to see the Malusi again. And boy, this has been the rise of the Malusi as well, right? In kind of across the board for comp maps, we've been seeing her pick up a great skyrocket.
That's true. It definitely recently. I think that slowdown potential from all of the fast attack. And you know what? Because I think it's a good change, right? We were seeing the same defensive operators played over and over, and I think the attackers start to get used to that. You see the great teams start to adapt very quickly to those play styles. So good defensive teams finding ways to adapt, bring something else out, bring something else special.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Okay, it's going to be the double shotty play.
Attackers must locate and defuse
As
the bomb.
Tweety and KGN both going to be rocking the twin shotguns. On the attack side of it, this is really exciting. Blitz on the board, line.
The KGN, that was a spawn peak with the SMG-11 taking out Ions, and that's a huge pick. That's the frag leader there for the Outlast Black team, and he's the lion. He's that piece of intel here, gonna try and hold all of the defenders in position, so that way they can't run around during this push in. So that was a big pick here, huge for them, pushing ourselves much closer here. That overtime. I can't believe it, man. Can't believe we've gone from 6-2 to 6-5, already a man down as well.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding, Whiskey. 66 seconds left on the board. Here's the attacking team kind of regroups and gets to decide what that next part of the plan is going to be. And it looks like it's going to be some first floor real estate as they're going to try to suss out for any of that C4 shenanigans that can potentially be played from below. Only one, Mute, the only one with the capabilities of some C4, some down ground action, and Blitz pushing up the white stairs. Does get rid of the goose and pushes up, and he's looking towards this zombie. He's going to potentially find her off the board, and it is the kill. Going down for the plant. Oh my lord! That's the Kiva barrier blocking the way,
No!
but also giving a little bit of
The
security.
smoke! The
KG
area
able to find the
denial!
You said it was key. There was played right out 3-3, and they still got a shoddy in hand to try to stop the potential push.
Oh, what an execute there from the Outlast Black side. The rush in, they got the Azami out of the corners, exactly what they needed to do. Blitz was getting the plant down, but the area denial comes in. KGN has found himself 4 now, finally coming back, and at exactly the right time. They needed him to get to that position. He's going to swing as well and grab a triple here on this match point scenario.
Well, yeah, here's the difference. Just put a shotgun in KG's hand, and apparently he's fine after that. He's put himself into that 5-9 area now. Tumba. Oh, gonna lose his life as KG on the quad kill. Looking to seal up with another ace, and he is in position to do so. It's going to be the swing. Oh, he gets ripped off the board. Now in a 1v2 situation, his Capital is low. 20 HP and a dream.
15 seconds remaining.
SMG 11 comes in and sends us to OT. Boy, if you had told me 30 minutes ago that this was going to be the result of this round, I would have said you were crazy, because overtime on the third map of a best of 3, we've already seen a double overtime in play here. Both of these teams not wanting to give up an inch. Like we said, fighting for that playoff spot in the Wild Goose Chase. It's going to need another 2 rounds to do it. Figure out who it's going to be, my friend.
You know, that's what happens when you bring this type of caliber of player in, right? They're still fighting to try and make it. They're trying to get their name known. They're trying to find
Attackers need to
that
locate and
coveted
defuse
spot
as many
on the
bombs
big
as they
stage in Sao Paulo. And so you see a little bit of the shenanigans. You see a little bit of the trickery. You see a little bit of the riskier plays. And I think that has paid off now as we find ourselves, like you said, in a 6-6 split. We're OT, and it's the final match of the night. Boy, this has the potential. Crossing off the bucket list. We're looking at 1v1, folks, on the double OT. Fill out our bingo card.
Going downstairs again, so they have found success, and they have also struggled here. So, gonna keep this same lineup with Outlast Black continuing on the attack. So, I would have said that the double defense was exactly what they needed, but I mean that was a 5-1 half or a 4-2 half, and we go 4-2 again on this on the split. So I'm not sure which way it's gonna go. This is too close to call with both teams playing at what feels like their peak. This is definitely reminiscent of what we saw on Bank.
Okay. Double OT, blitz down, it's 3 sitting in that bunker area. It means there's going to be a little bit of some quick action, I think. And there he goes. Oh, smoke comes out. Gonna try to push up, and he is going to get in there, but it's going to be the Legion who's starting to slow him down.
He's
first default tends to be the next default, and all of a sudden, it is just collapsing for this attacking team as it's all on the shoulders of Matampa. And that is just going to be living up to his name.
He has absolutely come alive here in the second half of this map. That is unbelievable. We're now sitting at overtime match point with Ubuntu in the lead, which we haven't seen, I think, since round 1. No, we saw Outlast Black win 3 in a row. So this is their first time they've got themselves into the lead, and it is on overtime match point. They have come alive, my friend. That rush up was crazy. I can't believe we saw Blitz take so much damage from that Legion goo. That one piece of utility was that impactful in that round. Unbelievable.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Slowed it down. Okay, well, it's first side play for... Wait, is it? Did I read that right? We in the
Bomb
first side?
located.
This is where Outlast Black started the game off at, right? We talked about were they taking this first floor site as the site that they wanted to get it out of the way, or was it part of this first floor meta that we're seeing? And if you're going into OT match point down around, and you go here, I think we answered that question. This isn't the one that they just want to get it out of the way. This is the one they feel comfortable on, and we saw them win it. So this is, I think they're feeling very comfortable here. This is where Outlast thinks they can push it to double OT.
Can I just say that we've got to see Blitz several times in a row now, and that just makes me so happy. I hate seeing it in the rain. I love watching it in comp play.
It's on both sides of the map here, right? We've seen both Outlast and Ubuntu play that blitz, so fantastic. That is an important part of it, which makes the game fun from the viewer perspective. So we know it can be frustrating from the player's side, but you bring out the shield when you're attacking this meeting site, whether it's Osa or Monty or, in this case, Blitz.
Yep. It's a good call. Not going to opt for the double breach this time, as they're going to rely solely on Ace, who died, or we saw die the last time they tried to take that opening onto Split. It's going to be mostly slowed down yet again by the defense. We'll see if they're going to be able to capitalize. Blitz going to get right in. It's going to be a tough shot. Oh! The pre-fire with the pistol. Almost coming up clean across the board. Takes a little bit of damage. It's just a little over that half health. Do what the shields do best. You give that the location information. Oh, there it goes. Blitz down. Now body bounce tipped over to Outlast Black. They need to find nothing. Actually, they've got the body bounce.
They can just trade out, I think you would say here in this last half of the round. Still got one playing upstairs, and I don't think we've got any of the defenders playing downstairs. You still have one C4 on the board, though. Ion's here holding it, but he's playing upstairs, holding on to this. Give him Matumba holding down. 11 and 11 and 13 and 10. This is the crew you want to have stay alive.
Yep. All right, 62 seconds left on the board. Opening up that verticality. Ions wants to catch somebody slipping on those stairs before they make it up to have that engagement with them. A little bit of surprise from above with some shoddy love. It's going to be two pushing in that direction. He might find himself one here if they're not paying extra special attention.
Yeah, we're seeing the attackers all on this first floor, like looking up, trying to find it, but boy, that just does not feel like the way you want to be pushing. It didn't clear anybody out upstairs. All of this defensive pressure upstairs, I think, is going to be impossible for the attackers to overcome, and it is all up to Scary. He started off this round in a really rough way. He's got himself up to 7 and 10, but is it going to be enough? 3, not going to be enough. Retro going crazy on this round.
No kidding. And it was all on the back of the first floor play. They had that vertical presence first, and people were on the first floor looking up towards that 2F vertical play, and just got smacked by the castle who was playing down below. Couldn't find a beat on him.
No way. No way. We went double OT on 2 maps in a best of 3. I mean, both of these teams really giving us exactly what we wanted to see, which was just a night of siege. So it all comes down to this, literally. We are in match point, map point, series point, playoff point, because the loser goes home, the winner moves on to the playoffs in the Wild Goose Chase.
Yeesh, okay. You said it. I couldn't explain it better myself. This is it. For all the marbles, all the glory, all the face check for this best of 3 ending right now. We just want to say there's a lot of things you could be watching, folks. We appreciate you hanging out with us on this special community-driven cast. Pleasure to be here with you guys. Okay, Whiskey, what you think? What do you like about this attack team?
The attack team making the switch out to the Lion and the Amaru plus the Grim. I think we have seen that be, potentially a bit of a quick plant type scenario, right? You got the Amaru that goes up into that game's window. You've got the Lion to be able to get some intel there. Hopefully the Grim to block off some of those movement lines from the defending team. or she goes up to the top of big tower. It's the other option, trying to get herself in. They've got those can openers, so they have utility here on the attacking side to make this work. The thing that they don't have is nothing to deal with the mirror windows. That feels a little bit dangerous, to be honest.
Yeah. Yep. Mirror on the top floor side, always a bit of a question mark because it can either be incredibly huge or it can be the bonehead play that just unfortunately doesn't work out for you. We're going to have to wait to find out which case it's going to be here, and this is the map to do it on. Or, I mean, this is the round to do it on, too. I mean, it's the comfort picks in this part, right? So this is a strat that they were ready. This is a pocket strat that said, pull this out.
She's playing on that attic wall, which sometimes can be a little bit dangerous, right? Because if the attackers are able to get themselves into a position to have that attic open, playing on that mirror window is going to be pretty useless because got all that sight line directly in on it. Now, question is, they don't have the Mavericks, so they've got to rely 100% on the can openers there from the Amaru. So they have the PC utility. Is it going to be enough?
That's a good question. We've seen the first minute and a half slip by in this last match point, which takes us still 5 all of these whiskey. You know what that means? This is going to be so quick that we're going to have such a hard time keeping up with it. You just know it. This is going to be absolutely insane in the membrane for the action here. Now, going to get some action or location on whoever's sitting behind there. Starting to ping out. Yep, got one at least. Gonna have to find a way to push in to deal with him as well. Gonna hope to rotate back. It's gonna be Ho to find the first kill onto Tweety. As we see 60 seconds left on the board as it starts to count down.
That's right. Look at this. They've got all of this from underneath. The buck is there, but the shots come down through the floor. Scary. Man, a 9 and 11. What a turnaround he has had on this game. It is a 3v4. We've got 20 seconds left, my guy. It all comes down to this.
15 seconds remaining. Attackers dropped the diffuser.
That was it. KGN and Sloth fighting the hard-fought victory indeed. Ubuntu coming up clutch at the very last second when they needed to. The vertical play was all over the place on that one. I can't believe we ended up at that 8-7 mark after what we saw earlier in this round. Holy smokes.
Yeah, no kidding, Whiskey. Absolutely crazy match, good all the way through, and what a way to start out the wild goose chase with its living up to its namesake. This was wild the whole way through. It had a little bit of everything.
Wow, and you know, I feel like we want to go through and just take a look at the playoffs real quick. Make sure that that the viewers have got an understanding of where we are. But like we said, there's a lot of Siege you could be watching. Thank you to both of those teams for coming here and participating in this. And wow, what a run, my guy. We'll pull up that the playoff picture here real quick because, like we said, all come down to this. So we see Ubuntu take down Outlast Black, the Gotham City Janitors. Out, we're going to see Ubuntu take on the Wanted Goons. And this just in, that sounded like Final Family was in the playoffs there.
Yeah,
So
I think that was it, yeah.
they beat the Trap Stars. So now I think we've got to just a one more position left that they got to configure or figure out which one it's going to be. But the Wild Goose Chase playoffs are looking very good, and there's going to be a lot of exciting Siege coming up with T2, T3 teams fighting out for this prize pool.
Yep. Okay, well, geez, we made it. We did it. It's time, my friend. It was a best of 3, and it went the full freaking distance to get there. It's exactly what you wanted to see. Almost came down to that 1v1 scenario to check the box, and oh man, I had a lag right at the end, so I missed the last couple of kills trade outs. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the VOD yet again to figure out how we got to where we got to, but it was an exciting round. I was so happy to be here yet again. Shout out Nomical, shout out Goose, absolutely class act admins. Thank you so much for continuing to put on such a fine show, and really for the community. It's just been awesome. Thanks to the viewers for hanging out with us. But Whiskey, I think we're there. What you think?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks to Pubs and the other people that donated subs. Like we said, the Siege Double Shot donating all of the revenue from the Twitch streams here for the Wild Goose Chase games to the admins that didn't get paid in the previous league. So we are here to support the community and appreciate all the viewers again, everybody. So here it is. We're going to wait and figure out. We don't have quite when the next game is going to be played yet, the timing on it, but continue to check Twitter. We'll for sure get that promo out, our friends.
That's right, my friends. Okay, well, unfortunately, we have come to the dreaded part of the evening where we must bid you adieu. So as the lights start to dim and the jukebox starts to sing closing time, as always, my friends, you don't have to go home.
But you can't stay here.
Heyo.
Let's go.